All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have our pain here tonight, and we know people are just going to fall in. This is the beginning of the show. I'm excited about tonight's show. We have a couple of good topics. And so, of course, when we get the first topic rolling, we'll definitely drop that link so you guys can join the show. You know, just be respectful. If you don't want to be on camera, that is okay. I just got to see you before you're not on camera to make sure you're a real person. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We're gonna have fun tonight. Our Pain, how are you this evening, sir?
You're on mute. I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. Today was a chill day for me. You know how you have a relaxing day, and so you're so relaxed that you just keep relaxing. You know, it was one of those days for me. So
we're gonna try to make sure we keep you in that nice, safe space. So.
Thank you.
We'll try.
All right, Anna. Yeah, we're gonna get into some things. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Guys, if you are here, definitely hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you're notified when we go live, when I post things of that nature. But definitely hit the like button. When you hit the like button, it allows other people to know that we are live right now and that we are talking about some things that happen in real life. And so we're going to give some real life perspectives. I'm excited to share some of these videos with you just to get your perspectives and to just see what you guys are thinking. But before we get into that, J-Dub, formerly known as Jeffrey Woodland. Good evening, good sis, Precious, the panel, the chat, and the mods. Anticipation, another good one. I think it's going to be a good one. Marcus, thank you so much for being here. He says, hello, everyone. Like, share, and subscribe. Share the video, everyone. Definitely share the video. We get more people watching that way. Trey Ferg, hope to see you on the panel tonight. Hello to you. Darnell, I see you in the chat. Thank you for being here. I see Our Pain is also in the chat as well. Good evening to the chat. Tarika, I see you in here. I'm here. How are you doing? I am doing well. Can't complain at all. Harrison Davis, salute to you, sir. Thank you so much for being here. All right, y'all. So the first video that I'm going to play is something that I just posted on Instagram. And it is, I was listening to it like, whew, geez, golly. Because it's just so bam, boom, boom in your face. And so there's a lot of things to process. And I'm wondering if Our Pain already know. I don't even think I have to ask you this question, but I feel like I already know what you're going to say and the direction that you're going to move in. But, you know, hey, some people may have a different spin on it. So I wanted to play it because it is gaining traction and things like this do happen in real life. And it happened to this guy on the radio. You understand?
I'll try to be open-minded.
Hello?
Yeah, is this Jody?
Yes.
Yeah, hi. My name is Mike with How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing great. I have some good news. We are doing a promotion this time of year where we're giving away free trips every single day. And we have some promotional boxes out in the Triad. And it's kind of one of those things where you put your name in. We encourage people to put a name of their friend in. And we drew your name today. And we have a romantic getaway for two to Myrtle Beach anytime next year.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah. basically, it's real simple. It's a romantic getaway for two. We make it really nice, romantic, with all the things that you'd want, flowers and chocolate and other things. And all we need from you, we have your first and last name, is the first and last name of the person that you would like to take with you. That will help speed up the process.
Okay, I just have one question.
Sure.
Does the person have to travel with me, or can they meet me at the resort?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no plane ticket or anything. They can meet you there. It's not a problem. Just for checking in purposes and stuff, they just need to know who's going to be there.
Okay. I'll be taking Brian.
Brian. All right.
Yes. That sounds great.
You've got to be kidding me.
What? Hello?
You've been sleeping with Brian, Jody.
Hi, Jamie. Yeah. What are you doing? What is this?
Yeah, this is your husband,
Okay,
Jamie.
I don't even know what's going on. Jamie, what is going on? Where did you come from? I was just talking to this guy, and now what is happening?
I just set this up because you've been acting weird, and I was right. How long has this been going on?
Like 8 months?
Yeah, we're done. You need to get all of your from the house and not be there when I get home.
Come on, Brian. Or Jamie, God, no. I'm so sorry. You know that I don't want to hurt you.
We're done.
No, please. Let's just talk about this.
There ain't nothing to talk about, baby.
Please.
Jody, this is Jared and Katie in the morning on 107.5 KZL. Your husband, Jamie, contacted us, and he thought that you were being shady and thought that maybe something was going on. So are you in a sexual relationship with this guy, Brian?
I can't believe you did this on the radio.
Well, and then you also, you called him the guy's name you're taking to a romantic trip with you. You called your husband Brian.
It was just a slip of the tongue. It happens. People get tongue twisted when they're nervous and upset, and I'm really upset right now because I just need him to talk to me. I can't believe we're doing this right now. This is insane.
Jamie, do you want to continue?
I'm sorry that you feel embarrassed right now.
So what's with taking...
Can you please just talk to me without the radio?
I want you to get all of your and be gone when I get home.
It's not going to happen.
I'm not going to do that. You and I need to talk about this. Please, we need to talk about this. We haven't had any kind of discussion, and I need to explain to you, and we can fix this.
No, not for 8 months. Thanks, guys. Thanks for setting this up. Can I go? Can this be done?
Yeah,
sure.
You can go.
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Jamie, please.
Woo. Jody, I mean, what could she say at this point? What can you really say at this point? But what were your thoughts on the video before we kind of dissect it?
Well, he gets caught her, but the typical thing would happen is happening. Once you get caught, now you want to make all these explanations and all this kind of crap. The fact that he was trying to tell her to be gone, I knew that shit wasn't going to happen. She ain't leaving because women are not dumb like men. When women kick men out of their house, they leave and they lose everything. She ain't going nowhere. And so he's going to have to go talk to her. And I don't know what that conversation is going to be like, but there's no going back. He might. He sounded like he was kind of calm, but I don't know. There's no going back. So I don't know what kind of conversation. If it was like a follow up, it'd be nice to know about that. But I don't think there's any going back from that. I really don't.
Okay, so good evening, Coach Ferg. How are you?
What's going on, Coach?
How y'all doing today?
Good, good. Did you watch the recording I just played?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on it? Him making the decision right then and there, get your stuff, leave. I don't want you there when I get back. Um, her having this 8th month. Now the caption said it was his best friend. But I don't know. We don't know that for sure. But what do you think about the whole situation?
Hey, I believe she's lucky there were witnesses there at the time. I don't think no man will take it well if you find out, you know, and you've been deceived for months. You know, like our pain said, there's really no going back. You can try, but you could be looking at her while she sleep like, man, I should just go ahead and just, so it's just unfortunate, but yeah, ain't no going back. That's all, ain't too much to say about it. It's just sad that you commit your life to that and then you find out that she's doing shit like that. That shit hurts. I see, you know what I'm saying? I was different when I was younger. Like now today, if my wife did that, I'll be hell on the ladies in the streets. I ain't taking no prisoners. But I don't know. Yeah. You invest your life months. You've been talking about you've been doing this for months. So you've been laying in my bed, lying to me, deceiving me. No. So it'd be tough.
Man, he's getting them sloppy seconds.
All that shit would be out in the garage. It wouldn't even be in the garage. It'd be over where I set the garbage out there, like this shit out.
Would you expect her to do the same if you cheated?
Yeah, at this point. At this point, you've been in and you committed to everything and shit. You got insurance policies together and you got all this stuff. Yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow,
Yeah, but but the question is a trick question. Well, it's not whether I expect the woman to do that. It's whether the woman would do that on her own. Women try to, but they don't think like men.
Yeah.
Not when it comes to that. Now, the women today think they could just kick a guy out, but it just depends on how much that man is worth to her. That's really what it is. So if he's like a bum, that he could be discarded, yeah. But some guys, woman knows if he cheated, she ain't finding another guy like that.
No.
So the calculation is different for women. I'm not saying it from a man's point of view because women show that the calculation is different. Not because I'm saying it. A lot of women forgive their guys for cheating once or twice. It depends on how embarrassing he makes it for. But with a man, we have no such governor. Once we find out that you're busting out for a real one, it's no going back. It's just no going back.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
Right after Joe goes, I do have a question for you. I just got to remember it.
Write it down. Joe, what do you think about this video?
I heard a little bit of it, but I seen you posted it, and just the headline alone was wife cheats on husband with husband's friend. That's a problem, man. I would like to think as someone who's grown, I would handle it differently, but I don't know. I don't know. I think, first of all, I'd be more mad at the friend than at the wife. Because if that's my boy, he knows that's a line you don't cross. I'd be in the right to clip him if I wanted to, and nobody would protect him. I'd have to worry about the authorities. I'm just saying. But as far as what he did, that you don't ever fuck with a man's family. That's a no-no. The girl might have emotional reasons why she did that, or she's not happy. I'm not, giving her attention, whatever the case may be. But that relationship should be over too. My concern is the guy. If it's a stranger, right? It's just a guy. I won't get mad at him. You're being a man. She allowed this to happen. But if it's my boy, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
This is a double dog.
You can't let that go, man. I don't know. I don't know. Where I come from, you don't get a pass on that at all. That's a no-no. You learn that at 14, 15.
It's universal. It's universal.
Yeah,
So,
that's just
so Joe,
yeah.
Joe, and I'm paying you too. Would y'all allow y'all friends to come over your house when y'all not there?
No, and my friends would
Well,
know.
they know better.
At the door.
I ain't saying. Hey, some
No.
will try.
Here's the thing.
I've seen it firsthand, personally.
I've seen it too, but now at this age, right? The only friends in my life are the ones that know how to act accordingly. Like if something happens, I'm at work and my friend's got to drop something off. He'll go to my house. Let's say I have a wife or a girl. He's ringing the bell. He's leaving it at the front. He's not walking in. You know what I'm saying?
That's why
It's a respect thing. You don't do that. You don't give reason to people to talk, number one. You try not to do that. And it's just wrong. So no, I wouldn't have, unless it's like my cousin, and I don't know, 99% of the time, no, but people are different. People don't give a fuck. They really just don't care. A lot of them aren't really friends with each other to begin with. They're just existing with each other with that plan in the back of their mind to throw them under the bus in any way possible. I see that a lot. Now the girl, it's tough. You said something like she wanted him to leave the house.
No, he told her that he wanted her to pack all her stuff and not be there when he got back.
Yeah, emotionally he's gonna say that, but she's not going anywhere. That girl.
That's exactly what I said.
And that's a problem, I think. Like, what does he do in that situation? He's gonna call the cops. Somehow, unless there's 3 people witnessing the whole thing, she could easily say I feel threatened or anything to ruin this guy's life. That's a tough situation. The thing that I'm trying to learn at this age, which I've done a good job of learning, is she had to show signs of this somewhere in the past. A girl just doesn't become unfaithful. There's things she showed that he ignored.
You missed it. He kind of alluded to that. He alluded to it. You kind of breaking up. He alluded to that.
What do you mean? He said that?
He alluded to.
I'm gonna play it again for those who just came in.
We're gonna probably play it again.
He set her up because he knew that she was acting weird. I'm gonna play it again.
Hello?
Yeah, is this Jody?
Yes.
Yeah, hi. My name is Mike with How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing great. I have some good news. We are doing a promotion this time of year where we're giving away free trips every single day. And we have some promotional boxes out in the Triad. And it's kind of one of those things where you put your name in. We encourage people to put a name of their friend in. And we drew your name today. And we have a romantic getaway for 2 to Myrtle Beach anytime next year.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah. Basically, it's real simple. It's a romantic getaway for 2. We make it really nice, romantic, with all the things that you'd want, flowers and chocolate and other things. And all we need from you, we have your first and last name, is the first and last name of the person that you would like to take with you that will help speed up the process.
Okay, I just have one question.
Sure.
Does the person have to travel with me, or can they meet me at the resort?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no plane ticket or anything. They can meet you there. It's not a problem. Just for checking in purposes and stuff, they just need to know who's going to be there.
Okay. I'll be taking Brian.
Brian? All right.
Yes. That sounds great.
You've got to be kidding me.
What? Hello?
You've been sleeping with Brian, Jody.
Hi, Jamie. Yeah. What are you doing? What is this?
Yo, she's straight got caught.
Yeah, this is your husband,
Okay,
Jamie.
I don't even know what's going on. Jamie, what is going on? Where did you come from? I was just talking to this guy, and now what is happening?
I just set this up because you've been acting weird, and I was right. How long has this been going on?
Like 8 months.
Yeah, we're done. You need to get all of your from the house and not be there when I get home.
Come on, Brian or Jamie. God, I'm so sorry. You know that I don't want to hurt you.
We're done.
No, please. Let's just talk about this. Please.
Jody, this is Jared and Katie in the morning on 107.5 KZL. Your husband Jamie contacted us, and he thought that you were being shady and thought that maybe something was going on. So are you in a sexual relationship with this guy, Brian?
I can't believe you did this on the radio.
Well, and then you also, you called him the guy's name you're taking to a romantic trip with you. You called your husband Brian.
It was just a slip of the tongue. It happens. People get tongue twisted when they're nervous and upset, and I'm really upset right now because I just need him to talk to me. I can't believe we're doing this right now. This is insane.
Jamie, do you want to continue?
I'm sorry that you feel embarrassed right now.
So what's with taking...
Will you please just talk to me without the radio?
Without the radio.
I want you to get all of your and be gone when I get home.
I'm not going to do that. You and I need to talk about this. Please, we need to talk about this. We haven't had any kind of discussion, and I need to explain to you, and we can fix this.
No fixing that. Sorry.
No, not for 8 months. Thanks, guys. Thanks for setting this up. Can I go? Can this be done?
Yeah,
sure.
You can go.
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Poor bastard.
Jamie, please.
Okay, so you guys are saying that there is no fixing it. She was cheating for 8 months.
That brings my question to you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my question for you as a lady. What pathway do you see a man coming back from that? I mean, you get the man's perspective, but as a lady, and you got to put your feminine thing in this, because I don't know whether you had a guy who ever cheated on you and you forgave him and all that. But because what pathway do you think he has to come back? What kind of apology? What can she do to get whatever he had for her in a marriage back?
Great question, Peyton. What a question, bro.
I wouldn't get married so a man wouldn't cheat on me. There is no.
No, I'm talking about no.
He's married now. He's not gonna cheat. Woohoo! You want to cry?
But I'm saying what? Okay, forget about the man cheating. I'm saying I don't want to say you, but if the woman cheated, how do you think a man's gonna forgive his wife for cheating on him? How do you think? What is his pathway back to her? Let's take it from you, but even if you could put yourself in that place, but that's on you.
So, like she was saying, right? She's like, we need to talk and we need to fix this. Those are not words that you say right then and there, because right then and there, he doesn't want to talk. There is no fixing it. You just shattered, everything, and not really even shattered because he had already had the inclination that she was doing something. When you become one with someone. You feel them, them, you can tell that they're not themselves. Okay. You just know this. And so instead of setting her up, right, he could have asked these questions, but now we're here. And so now that you have the truth that you were looking for, now you want to leave. Was that what you were going to do when you found out something was going crazy anyway? So
you're not answering my question.
Again, marriage is not they're not going to cheat on me button. That's not, you would like to think that, but that's not the reason why you marry someone. Now you wouldn't want it to happen to you. And so if we're married, it could have been years. It could have been years she was in this relationship with somebody else. It was 8 months, right? So what you do is you distance this friend and you deal with your wife. You distance the friend and you deal with your wife.
Okay. But
and like Coach Ferg was saying, all the policies and things like that. It's like y'all are married. Y'all are not, y'all are not boyfriend girlfriend. Or do it the way that he did it. Straight up, just walk away. There are people who don't just walk away. I am the kind of person that's like, I'm out. But at the end of the day,
I'm asking you though. I hear what you're saying, but you're on the right path, but you're not exactly answering the question I'm saying. What pathway? What kind of discussion can she possibly tell him for him to want to come back? What do you except for trying to gaslight him for being responsible for? Let me finish. All that stuff doesn't matter whether it was 8 months, 10 years, or 1 day. What can she say to him to make him say, now I understand? That's not where it's coming from. Without gaslighting him to be the blame, there's no way she could say anything to him.
So my thing is, if you love somebody, you love somebody, right? If you're going to marry someone, you're going to marry someone you're going to love, that you're going to go through hell and high water with. That there is no, I'm leaving and this and that. You do all that in your single season, when you know what you can tolerate and what you can't tolerate. But when you get with somebody, you are saying, no matter what you do, we gonna have to figure this out, because I'm stuck. I chose to be stuck with you. This ain't no lottery. This ain't no arranged marriage. I chose this. I didn't choose for you to cheat on me, but at the end of the day, I chose you. So me and you are gonna have to figure out how we're gonna work this out and make it plain in our relationship. Yes, she was acting weird, but a lot of women don't just cheat for nothing.
So it's his fault then. It's
it's both of their fault. They're in a relationship. When you become one, we're gonna have a real conversation tonight.
Go ahead.
Because when you become one with somebody, it's not the he, she blame. It's the y'all blame. Y'all took these vows. So it's not his fault. It's not her fault. It's their fault. They married each other.
But listen, all of this, all that stuff, I'm not going to argue with the fact that we married each other and all that kind of stuff. There's only a couple of things that a man wants from his wife. It's just a few things. That's it. We don't have this long ass laundry list. You know why? Because a guy who's clear to his wife gives her everything. Everything, not just this tangible bullshit, man. My wife gets everything I got, not only when I'm alive, but when I'm dead. She's taken care of. Women don't do that for men. So I ask you to do a couple of things. Respect me and don't give that shit to nobody else.
And if she does,
so when you break that covenant, you can't talk yourself out of that. You can't. I mean, I'm just telling you.
There is no talking out of it. But if that's what you say at the altar, then I can understand. If you give this coochie away on any day after today, I'm out. If those are the words that you're saying on the altar and that's part of your vows, I can understand
it. It's part of the book.
Precious, does it count if we say we're in a committed relationships for 8 months and we're talking marriage, right? And if I tell you that moment at that time, we ain't even got to the marriage. If I say, if you get his ass and these cheeks to anybody while you with me, I'm done. Does that count?
And you're not married?
And we're not married, but we leading to get married. We made it. We saying we gonna get married, and then we get married.
What are words? What are
my words specifically
or not?
I'm in a relationship. We're talking about marriage.
Husband.
We engaged. We are engaged to get married.
Okay, you're engaged to get married. You're going down the steps. Okay,
and I say to her,
my thing is, it's funny how men will come into a relationship and men have said this to me, but I don't know about other women. I'm never going to cheat on you. Who said that that was a barometer for me to be like, I'm out.
Precious, no. If I tell you then, if you cheat on me, I'm done. We get married 3 months later, right?
Mm-hmm.
At whatever point you decide to do what you do, does that conversation that we had previously, is that still valid at that moment?
It's valid in the event that you decide that that's your boundary and you're going to uphold it. See, the thing about boundaries,
Thank you,
the
because I'm
thing
gonna
about,
uphold that shit.
but the thing about boundaries are they are for you. They're not for the other person.
But if
So
they
when
agree to it, does it become one?
so
We married?
coach
Dang.
Coach Ferg, no, right?
Yeah.
If you and I are in a relationship and you tell me this is what I don't like, and when I do that thing you don't like, if you don't stand on what you said you don't like, that has nothing to do with me.
Right.
So at the end of
But I
this,
leave, right? So
no,
in that
you
moment, I
here
stand on
here's
what I
this is
said.
what I'm saying, right? This is not to be combative or this is not to be complicated or anything like that. I completely agree with Precious. Not because men and women don't like the same things, X, Y, and Z. It's because people take these vows and then they ready to opt out the moment that things get hard. But you also have heard many men, right? And this is not a whataboutism. I'm just saying the logic applied. There have been men who say, well, yeah, I cheated, but she should understand because I'm the breadwinner and we work things out. Or they have found ways to say, well, you made him, he stepped out for whatever reason. And I'm not saying to
Every day.
justify it. I'm not
Every day.
I hear everybody, I see everybody shaking their head. I'm not justifying anything, and I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm just saying the logic is flawed when you're saying this is for better or for worse. This is what we're going through. Now, do I believe he should leave? If that's that man's boundary and it's a hard no for him, then exit, because you can't make somebody take something that they don't have to put up with, especially when they have held up their end of the bargain. But it's also a double-edged sword. It's really a very hard conundrum, because when you're sitting here saying when you sitting here saying I have established life with somebody, I have created this type of relationship with you, this type of rapport, sitting here going, I'm 55, I'm finna start dating again. It sounds cool, but it really is some loser shit.
So so at that point, because I don't think like I don't feel like a lot of people 5, 10 years younger than me. I don't go by the feeling. If we had this conversation, because women leave a man for less shit. If we have a conversation and then we get married, she's giving me her boundaries and expectations. And I go out and I break one of her boundaries that she gave to me, and we are married. She's going to seek a divorce. She ain't go forgive me. She
Coach
might.
Bird,
That's not true at
I
all.
understand what you're saying.
In
That's
some cases it
absolutely
happens.
not
For the
true at all,
most,
Coach Bird.
okay. So in 25% of the cases, yes, she may stay. If I'm providing for her in a capacity to where she can't compare once she leaves, she would try to swindle her way in as much as possible.
I think what you guys don't recognize is that a lot of women inadvertently, and again, I don't like comparing the gender thing, right? We're talking about one specific situation. This man discovered his wife was cheating with his friend. He was immediately ready to go in that moment, but he also had a longevity preparation. 8 months is majority of the year for one, to him to fall out of love, two, for him to fall out of routine, him to disconnect from the situation and rationalize what happens in the what if. So when he got what he knew was happening, that man was ready to go. If he had a found out within the first 30 days, his emotional reception to that could have been something completely different. But
Now
because
you're speculating. Now you're
no,
speculating.
I'm not speculating.
If
Yes,
there's a
yes,
No,
test,
no,
you
no,
are.
no. I'm not speculating anything.
Yes, you
Time
are.
makes no, I'm not.
Yes,
Time
of
makes a
course you are.
difference. No, I'm not. And I'll tell you
Hey,
how. Not only does time make a difference, right? Also,
no, it
it's
doesn't.
it's
It doesn't.
also, Mr.
Doesn't
Payne,
make a difference.
I hear you, right? I
I mean, you
understand
talking a
you.
lot though. You ain't letting nobody else say it. You got a whole long soliloquy.
Art,
It
art
does make a
thing.
difference. You speaking for men.
I'm
No,
not
you
speaking
said
for men.
yes, you are.
I'm not speaking for me and Mr. Payne, and that's why I say I don't do the gender thing. I understand, right? Like,
Excuse, I'm
but
sorry. Go
it's
finish.
completely fine, right? I'm
Okay.
sorry if you feel offended by what I'm saying,
I'm not offended. I'm not offended. You don't offend me.
but
I'm just saying. I'm not offended. I'm
well, when
sorry for
people
cutting
say
you
you're
off. I'm
talking a
sorry.
lot, right? That's a very
You
rude
were.
interjection, right?
No,
And I just thought we were having a conversation. I'm not sure how the conversation or the dialogue is supposed to go.
no, go
So
ahead. I said
what
I'm
I'm
sorry.
saying is, right, yes, time does make a difference when you find out someone is cheating. This is not a gender thing, but also literally science says it takes 6 months to fall out of love with somebody. So when you're asking me, or when you're saying I'm speaking for men, I'm not speaking for men. I'm just speaking from a human emote thing. So maybe for you personally, you may be like, oh no, I ain't dealing with this. That's why I'm saying if that's your boundary, cool. If you feel like you on exit, cool. I'm not here to tell you to put up with somebody disrespecting you.
Go ahead, Rick. If you got something, go ahead.
What? Oh, I thought Joe wanted to go.
No, it's all right.
No.
You could go, Rick. You could go.
Oh, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Happy Wednesday, beautiful people. How
Happy
y'all
Wednesday.
Happy
doing?
Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Such a nice greeting.
What's up? Everybody in the chat, what's happening? Embrace Quincy. What's good, man? I've seen that video a couple of times, man. Like, what y'all saying? Yeah, yeah. What Paris saying? Yeah, right. What it comes down to, right, is what value does she present to him, right? Now, if we analyze in the actual situation, right, it sometimes it's not what happens, is how it's presented, right? What's the saying people want to say all the time? Is not what you say, is how you say it, right? So the way he found out is to me, in my opinion, is too embarrassing to overcome. That's my opinion, right? It's a lot. Look, it's a lot easier to handle some disrespectful stuff when it's just between y'all.
I agree.
Correct. I can I just say this though?
Mm-hmm.
He wanted it to be embarrassing, so he didn't have to deal with the back end because
I can agree to that too.
Whatever.
He went out seeking, and we're gonna play a video that pertains to that. But he went out seeking to put her on blast. So it was so blown up that the only choice and the only viable outcome for him
Was
would be
to leave.
to leave.
Right. I
She was trying to get confirmation
hold
with her
on.
own words.
I don't disagree. Listen to what I'm saying. I don't disagree. But again, it's how you do something. Look, you can't blame him for picking a way to expose her when she the one who had her hand in the cookie jar. You can use it as a
I
reason.
agree.
Listen, listen what I'm saying. You can use it as a reason for him to get out of the dirty work of actually saying, "Hey, it's a wrap." You know what I'm saying? But it's the same. It's the same. Go through my phone. I don't care.
But I think to that, Uncle Rick, right? Like I demonize women for exposing their partners online. And to this degree, it was the same situation, right? Even if you have a small hunch or inclination, especially when you married, y'all are one. So when you embarrassed or humiliate your partner, right? Even if you are completely right and vindicated in what their ill-gotten behavior is, you can be completely right, you still have a fault to play in your own embarrassment.
Right.
So here's the thing. That's why I said in his situation, he had 8 months of her doing inconsistent behavior. He had time to think about it. That man was ready when he heard whatever he heard. If she said his name on vacation, he was ready to go on vacation. But if she said another man's name, which she did, he was also ready to end it all because he had enough time in his mind that he knew whatever the outcome was, fuck this.
I understand. Listen to what I'm saying, Sissy Pooh, right? I understand this. This is not an area of contention for me. My point is again, right? You verified it though. You see what I'm saying? I hear I hear what y'all saying, right? So again, let's say, for example, I'll use me as an example because there's never anybody on the panel. Y'all all perfect, excellent people, right? If it was me, right, I keep a number 2 pencil on me, right? Because I'm gonna pass that test. So even if even if the situation was embarrassed, right? Even like you said, right? You did that to eliminate you actually doing the dirty work of dealing with your mate, right? All that is irrelevant if you pass the test, right? All that is irrelevant, right? You can't hate somebody you can't hate a person, male or female, for any way they found out that you was bogus. You bogus. I think that's like the ultimate gaslight. That's like the ultimate gaslighting.
I don't think it's gaslighting if you're saying everybody played a part in the situation. She's wrong regardless. Like, I'm not justifying nothing she's doing. Me and you are actually on the same page. I think the issue is that a lot of times when you have people who are married and they're putting it all on the line, they want empathy for the part that they play. And it's like, you don't get to go and have everything aired out and then you want the perfect results in the commentation. You don't get people to say, oh well, yeah, I know she cheated, but like, yeah, he a victim, da 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 da, but that's all. No, that's not how it works. People will have commentation on every single part. So regardless of the end goal, yeah, she wrong. She bottom line wrong. Like nothing changes that. But he still set it up to where like it was intentional humiliation. He set himself up for his own humiliation.
Go ahead, Joe.
Well, listening to everybody, right? I understand where Rick's coming from. He almost did that in a way to where he can't take her back because he made it public. But also, what's your name? Paradise Paris. I know what you're saying. For him to do something like that, he had to sense it for a while, right?
He admitted that.
Right. So here's the thing I noticed that no one mentioned yet. She didn't say sorry. She said, let's talk. She didn't say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. No remorse whatsoever. And I'm not saying the apology would have worked, but she took no accountability. She showed no remorse. She right away went into manipulation mode. That's how I seen it. Maybe we talk now, there's no forgiving it anyway, but maybe she mentions things that I did that led to that. Still no excuse, but what part did I play? She didn't mention anything like that. She said, let's talk. For what? What are we going to talk about at this point? You know what I'm saying? You're banging my boy for 8 months. We're going to talk. If it was a one-time thing, vacation, out to girls, you fuck up, you're drunk, it was physical, I don't know if I could forgive it, but I could be a little more understanding to let your inhibitions, to give in to your inhibitions. But 8 months, she had a straight up another relationship.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, all right, would I have done it that way on the radio? No, I would have. That's a good way to do it, but have a friend do it. Pretending you're on the radio. You don't actually have to be on the radio and do that shit, because now he looks like, he looks like, even though he said we're done, he had to say that, he still looks like a jerk off. Like, yo, you knew for 8 months and you're just implementing a way now. You know what I'm saying? You let that shit go for a long time. So I don't know. Maybe he was scared to know the truth and it just boiled over into something. I don't know. But again, there had to be things leading up to that. That just doesn't happen.
Question.
Let me just say this, my piece on this one. First of all, he might not have known the whole 8 months.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
8 months because he asked how long.
You don't know until you know.
Right.
That's
right.
Let's keep it a fucking thousand. You don't know until you know.
Right. Exactly. My point is that he could have confronted her and asked her, but he needed some confirmation because she could have easily said no.
Yeah, but he could have did it differently.
What I'm saying is most people are going to lie about that. So he wanted some confirmation and he wanted it from her. So I don't think what he did was his way of doing it. Some people hire private detectives. Some people do this. Some people follow their ladies. Some people, or man, whatever it might be. I don't think in this situation he's at blame at all.
No,
Not
he's
at all.
not.
Zero. I'm not talking to you, just Joe. I'm just saying in
Oh,
general. Just what is there to talk about? Only thing she's going to say to him is try to point out to him all the things that he did wrong to make her go give somebody else some ass. That's what's going to
That's
happen.
an assumption.
No, well, we all assuming stuff here, you know.
that's the
So,
thing. We
so
don't
whether
have.
it's one day or 8 months, this is his boy, right? And she's banging out for a real one. And yeah, some men actually do take their women back. I don't have to have a full length conversation before I get married to my wife to say, listen, if you cheat on me, I'm leaving. You know, when I brought your ass down the aisle and I made a vow to you and you made a vow to me, that's a tacit agreement that we're going to be exclusive to each
Yeah,
other.
it's implied, pretty
You
much.
know, so it's more than
Yeah.
just implied. And in fact, it's the one sin in the Bible that says you can break the covenant. So if we want to go religious, so I mean, let's just listen. Some men do choose to get their wives back. And when I ask you, Precious, tell me what a woman's going to say to this guy for him to say, okay, you know what? You're not the only one at fault here. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should have did this. It doesn't do anything but find a way to gaslight him into being guilty for something that made you go bust it out for another real one. That's it. Yeah, that's the way that works. And so women, when their men cheat on them, they make a calculation as to whether this guy is worth sticking around. They do. That's the difference between us. And men who stay around with their women, they do a calculation and say, shit, man, is my pride big enough to lose half of my shit? And nothing's never going to be the same. Never. Because our imaginations don't work that way.
I agree. Um, I hope we wouldn't be operating from imagination though. But so the question,
you gonna be imagining something, that's for sure. You're gonna be
right? But
imagining
I
something.
think imaginations lead to assumptions. So the question is, why aren't things like this spoken about before a side relationship forms? Right. So we've been saying, oh well, if Coach Fur, you made the scenario, well, if we're engaged and that's one of my stipulations, are you going to uphold the stipulation? But to I have a problem with, and mind you, we all have boundaries, things that we are going to do that we are not going to do, right? However, we are human. So I may say I'll never leave the top off of the toothpaste. I won't, because I hate doing that. But let's just say I'll say I'll never do it. But when I do it, you know what I mean? What's going to happen? And I think that we don't have enough conversations about that, because at the end of the day, should you break boundaries? No, you shouldn't. But nobody knows what to do once something happens, and it's okay. We leaving, we breaking up, we doing it, and you don't know how to have the conversation about what actually happened. And who says you have to be together? I'm not saying that you have to be together, but a lot of people don't know how to find the vocabulary to speak to someone about their wrongs, each other's wrongs. And if we're going to break up, okay, cool, we're going to break up. But if we're going to stay together, we need the vocabulary on how to even tell each other what is going on with one another without it being, oh, well, my imagination is this and your imagination is that.
What type of what's the dynamic of the relationship though?
That's a good
You're
question
married.
because I was going to say, like, aside from just losing shit, men also a lot of times consider their children not being a part of their everyday. And I think that that matters to men a lot, that they can't wake up and engage with them. And I think that that plays a huge factor in their
That's
relationship
true.
also.
That's true.
So when I think about like the idea of cheating, that's betrayal. I think the biggest issue here is not necessarily that all women wager that, but a lot of women wager in their mind validation from other people, because we spend a lot of time trying to prove to other people how wrong they are about our man. So that aside from just the money, or like the heartbreak, it's not just that, or you guys being the leader, the provider, etc., etc. It's more so of her trying to vindicate, this was my happy ending, I'ma have it regardless. And it's an ego thing.
It's
It
it's a,
has a
it's
lot, like, so I look at the cheating part as, right, I said I made this promise to myself of what I'm not going to accept. I don't have to discuss this with you, what I'm not going to accept. This should be implied. I don't like disrespect. So when you do it, there's repercussions and consequences to all your actions.
So you get to
so
walk away because he disrespect you? So he
so
cursed you out?
so so what's the disrespect? Is that disrespect the
Well,
act
cheating is
or right?
disrespectful.
Okay,
Exactly.
So
okay,
that's
got
that's
you.
what
That's
I
what I'm
mean.
asking. I'm asking
I
for
wasn't,
dynamics.
Mr.
Okay.
Coach, I wasn't referring to an argument, right? There's still a way that you
Who's
can have,
arguing?
well, if you're cursing somebody out,
No, I'm
that
just saying if we have an argument, that's a form of disrespect, and I'm cursing you. That I'm just looking at that
I
as an
don't see
example.
that. I don't see that as disrespect.
Wow.
Arguments are a common,
Everybody good.
natural occurrence between people. Now, what can occur during the argument, right, could be something disrespectful, right? If you throw something in my area, if I raise my hand and try to slap you, or like, words are words. I'm not too hung up on a man saying you got me fucked up right now. Like,
No, no, not
okay,
something like that. If I'm just
you
calling you
know.
B's and H's all across the floor
No,
and all across
no man
the
is gonna talk to me
audience.
like, no man I'm with is gonna
But
talk to
that's
me
what I'm
like that.
saying, though. That's the level
So
I'm
that,
talking
no,
about.
but I'm saying for me, that's not gonna be a reality of a man that I marry. Bottom
But that's
line,
what
it
I'm
just,
saying. So
yeah, I
if
hear
we
what you're
got,
saying. I'm saying it won't exist for me.
Right.
I
So
hear
so
that.
so
So
listen
in
though.
the,
My
go ahead,
bad.
Rick.
Oh, you
Yeah.
go ahead first. Finish your thought, bro. My
No,
bad.
I'm just saying. So an example that if that's what you stand on, and you said you wouldn't even explain it to a relationship. If I explained that to you, and listen, do not cheat on me once we cross this covenant. Okay.
Right.
I don't care if you 6 months in, 8 years in.
Mm-hmm.
For me,
You got to go.
so you just so yeah, you just agree with everything I was
No,
saying.
I've always agreed with you.
But
I
what I'm
heard
saying is,
exactly what you said.
and this is what I love, y'all young folk. The fact that he knew it 8 months, 8 days, whatever, right? And this is where the dagger is.
Mm-hmm.
When we without, just like y'all got y'all girlfriends, y'all best friends, y'all tell them certain things. You may not go into detail, but they know a little bit. My boy, that man was probably talking to his boy about his wife's possibly cheating.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Guaranteed.
he knows
Guaranteed.
some things.
That's man. That's
Yo, that boy's got to catch a beat down. I'm
But that,
sorry.
but look at
He
that type
has
of
no
to.
no no
disrespect. That's a
no.
whole lot of
Yeah, he
too
has to.
personal. I
Oh man,
Right.
mean,
And
you
that's my point, Mr. Berg. I'm saying that at the core of this, if what I define to be disrespectful or a non-negotiable, let's just say that. Let's remove disrespect, because disrespect is interchangeable. It could be a multitude of things, but disrespect isn't always something to break up over because it's emotional, it's emotion based, right? But if it's
right.
something that's a non-negotiable in your action, I don't have to rationalize with you why I'm leaving, because it was already implied. This was a non negotiable. Sometimes it's vocalized. So I'm saying, even in your situation where you're saying, I don't fool with cheating, when a person try you, it's consequences to their action. If you run a red light, you gonna get a ticket. So that's just what that is.
maybe
Right. Maybe.
Yeah, but
maybe.
If
I
the
see.
police see you and you run a red light, you got
No no. Depending on the cop.
Yeah. Depending on the cop.
Depending on the cop. This is why
well,
I asked for
reasonably
context.
in breaking the law, you're supposed to, right? So, and I'm saying that because the law is there for checks and balance for a regular individual. All I'm saying is you have to be accountable for your actions, but that's a personal individual's person to say, hey, I'm gonna hold you accountable. If they don't want to do it, that's them.
So what you're saying also is that the 8 months doesn't matter. It's whatever kind of relationship they have from the beginning, whether it's 8 months, a day, a week. The way he set her up, we could talk about that, but going to somebody and say, "Do you cheat on me?" The chance of you getting a true answer is kind of nil. And that's both for men and women. Nobody just comes out and said that. People lie under oath about shit like that.
One to none.
So he found a clever way of finding out for her to admit it. Right?
Mr. Payne, I'm gonna be honest with you. I always think, especially specifically to marriage, the situational circumstances matter. And I mentioned that when I mentioned like the children, or like people have boundaries, people have hard nose, and people have things that they're just not willing to compensate for. But just because this is why I say the 8 months matter.
Okay.
He could have been setting things up in play to ensure that he was protected. And so him making a decision to say day 15, it looked like she cheating. Day 62, I know for sure she cheating. He probably just didn't move right then due to other factors that could
Okay.
have affected him.
All right. So before you go, Rick, let me just say this. And let's just talk a little in general. Is it implied or not that when you marry somebody that you're supposed to be exclusive? I mean, if you're not supposed to be exclusive, then what we would talk about is us being open. I wouldn't think it would be necessary for me as a man to have a conversation with a woman I'm married that after all the conversation we have, by the way, you can't give this box to anybody else. I got paternity matters to worry about. If we're gonna have children, I can't have you busting it out for real ones when we're supposed to have kids that I'm gonna raise. So there's some real reasons why. I mean, so I do hear what you're saying, but if we have to imply and not imply, assume anything about a marriage, the kind of marriage I want to be in, that we're going to be exclusive to each other. And we've had those kind of conversations before, but you can't tell me if I didn't have that conversation with my fiance, then she has an open door to
No, I'm not.
once in a while slip out. Nah.
No, I'm not saying that.
I know you're not assuming that, so I want to just get that clear.
No, I was just simply saying that when you mention a man leaving or him losing all his shit, this radio show could have literally been his protection. And what I'm saying is you mentioned you stated, well, if you're putting it that way, then how long he knew about the cheating doesn't matter when he found out he was ready to leave. And I'm saying no, everything matters. The timing, the circumstance, if they had children, because who's to say he already knew the first 2 months? But he couldn't leave until month 8 because he had to get his things in order to ensure he himself was protected.
But no, Harris, no, because you just said in this very conversation, if she would have said his name, he would have been okay to go on the trip.
I said it's a possibility. I said
right, exactly.
He was ready.
No, let's stay right there. Hold on, let's stay right there. So with that being said, it's fair for me to assume that he didn't really know what was going on.
That's true.
Okay, right. So we agree, right? We agree. Mm-hmm. So let's simplify this, right? Because we dancing around it. Fellas, once you lock her up, it's your fucking fault.
Did you hear what I said?
I don't believe it.
I know you don't. Nobody does, but this is what y'all infer, right? Listen to what I'm saying. And I'm not saying what y'all saying is wrong. This is my opinion. My opinion does not reflect the views of Precious. This is her channel, right? But listen to the conversation, Coach Ferg. Listen, right? She was doing wrong, but it was embarrassing not for her, for him. He could have been asking, listen, guys, he could have been asking her 12 ways from Tuesday before he set this up. Hey, we good? Is there something we should be talking about?
No, honey, everything's okay.
Okay, then. Shit, you gonna get what you get.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. He's right.
And listen to what I'm saying. In Paradise, I agree with everybody a little bit right in this thing, right? Because you never know what you're gonna do till it happens, because it's what that person's value proposition is to you.
Correct.
Right.
But I think we were misaligned
Yeah,
because
we
right.
good, sis. We see. I got you.
Yeah, what I'm
Right.
saying is right. I always personally believe other factors matter aside from the actual incident, right? And that's because you don't know what situations or circumstances people are in. Everybody ain't got it like this to just be saying, I'm finna go file the paperwork. But I'm also saying that
Well,
based off of how he went about it, it's a safe assumption he was ready to do whatever. But I
What?
also don't know, right?
That's
I'm implying a lot of this is implied. So we can weigh the conversation a multitude of ways. Bottom line, I feel like she was wrong. And also bottom line, I do feel like that he was
He was wrong.
ready
right.
to go.
Right. But this is tomato though, right? Potato, right? Because the wrong is the wrong, right? Let's say, okay, so let's keep it thorough. Let's keep it. We all adults, right? We all grown, right? Would your reaction be the same if she did the same thing on the radio?
Hell yeah. I don't like that. To me, it's a bad character flaw in women when they're willing
Okay,
to
that
humiliate their husband.
right. Okay, let's stay there, right? That's fine, right? I have conversations with you ladies because I believe you guys have a certain mindset, right? Let's talk about the population in mass.
Yeah, we know they stupid.
He meant in mass,
Y'all
not
see
in
what
men.
you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, right?
So it would be, you know, he deserved this and he should have got blasted, and you know, and
speaking against the sisters.
we just different.
Okay,
Again,
so
I uphold it in a different way.
right.
So in my mind,
Listen to what
I
I'm saying.
always think that them women they look off in the head because we see
Right,
too many times that they doing it.
Right, sis. But you, because you believe it, right? Again, you're weird to them, but they're normal.
Yeah, they weird to me too.
You see what I'm saying? Right. So again, you guys are looking at it from a more mature and understanding perspective, but still at the end of the day, in mass, right? In the majority of the world, when they look at it, the situation at hand, the supposedly assumptions of conversations that should have been had, right? It's his fault. It's his fault.
I get where you're coming from.
Right.
You're talking from a general consensus.
Exactly. Because
this makes sense.
Because like I said, everybody on YouTube is special, right? We're all exceptional, right? There's no one better than us. I'm talking about how it will be taken at mass, right? So listen, right? So with that being said, right? When I say the value proposition, right? And how you do something, look, fucked up is fucked up. Excuse my language.
Bottom line,
right?
you ain't wrong.
Fucked up is fucked up, right? But so okay, let me use me, right? And I said this before. I think I told Precious this before, right? If I'm out here fucking around and moving and sticking like I ain't got no sense and my girl cheated, I'll be hurt, but I'll be mad, but I'll be like, right? The value proposition at that point would be, you know what? Like you said, all women know this. Men are women of habit. You go, men are creatures of habit. You go to work, you come home, you go to the gym at a certain time within a certain range. You're not going to do really anything outside of your normal schedule, right? You get inconsistent. The things you used to do, you didn't do. You don't really pay. Like, it ain't no reason. You know what I'm saying? This is how the shit happens, right? So if I was out here moving and sticking, it's open for conversation, right? But and again, we're assuming, right? Because nobody knows what this man did. Nobody knows what went on in progress behind the scenes for her before she did this. Because I ain't gonna say for her to do this. You do shit because you want to, right? For this to happen. But if I'm being an upstanding man and I'm doing what I need to do in the household and I'm honoring you as my wife and you do that shit, it's a wrap.
Yeah, but to me, I feel like that she was always for the streets if that's the case. Like,
so he should have chose better, right?
Pretty much.
Hold on. Answer the question. They shouldn't have got married to each other because I don't think
that.
Right. He should have chose. Men are responsible for the relationship. At the end of the day, no matter how time.
I think women need to be accountable too. Like men are responsible for the relationship, but if you go in there and you know you still sleeping with people and you ain't changing your patterns and you want to get married to a guy for a financial reason or whatever the case may be, then you just as messed up as he is. We can't.
Yeah, but that's not what Rick is asking, though.
No,
He
that's not what he
still
wants.
has to ask, and he still has to accept it. He has to bring her into the fold.
Yeah.
Right,
So
but how can you hold him accountable for something he don't know?
You don't
He
deal
also
with
can
him.
control
the
that.
point is the word will.
If a man don't know his
No,
word,
the thing, but the truth is, let's be honest, guys. Y'all expect us to know.
Yeah.
Let's it starts, and again, this is a miscommunication of how
Can you
men are.
elaborate, Uncle Rick, on
I
what you
got
mean
you.
expect us to know?
I got you, baby. I got you. Not you expect. I expect y'all to know. Y'all expect us to know.
That's what I mean.
Right.
I'm just reiterating what you're saying.
Watch how simple this is. Watch how simple this is. Did all y'all have a girlfriend when y'all was little or a little boyfriend? We know Precious didn't. She ain't started messing around too late, right?
14 was my first.
How do you know? How do you? The girl knew you liked her. Why? Because you told her you liked her, right? Did she tell you she liked you first?
No.
They think we read minds. That's the problem. They expect us to read their mind.
My
Well, I
crush
don't know, man.
overheard me say I
I
like
think I
y'all.
heard.
Right. He over, but you didn't tell him.
I had no intentions of actually dealing with him.
Exactly. See, because the ex. See, y'all.
He's
Listen.
simp for
Well,
you.
no, he was in a relationship. He just
But
overheard me say I liked him.
right. See, but the understanding is subconsciously is that a man was supposed to know that a woman likes him. We have to tell y'all that we like y'all. Subconsciously.
I'm having a hard time with that
Yeah,
because
well,
I don't
can I
believe
understand.
clear?
I
that.
What he
understand.
means, I
Rick, can I
think,
just say this? Rick, let me just say this. Paradise, one of the things that you said a couple of times is underlying factors, right? When you say underlying factors, I think it means something different for you than it means to me. In this situation, it means that you're saying, or this is what I'm hearing, not what you're saying, what I'm hearing, that there's some factors that made her do what she did. And if I'm
No,
the man if I'm in a man in that relationship, some of those factors, if not all, lead back to me. Something I'm not doing, something I did, some kind of dissatisfaction she had that made her go bust it out with my friend.
Mr.
Right. So
Payne, I'm
when
gonna
you
be
say
honest with you.
all I'm just saying is I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying when you say words like underlying factors that in this relationship that might have led to this infidelity, that's what I hear.
I hear you, right? And I'm gonna be candid with you. Women will cheat simply because she don't know how to be happy with herself. She can have everything that she needs to accommodate and appease her. He could be home, he could be an active dad, he can be, a very diligent and, principle oriented guy, right?
Right.
But because she innately has this own ego that needs to surge, she finds herself cheating and would try to flip it and justify it for him. In my mind, cheating is intentional and deliberate, especially when you're married, because at that
I
point,
agree.
it was a conversation that had to be had. There is
But let me
nothing he could have done to make her cheat
okay.
at all. She did it
Well, but
because
let
she
me
wanted
ask
to
you a
do it.
question on this point, though. Then maybe I should have asked you more directly. What do you mean by underlying factors, though? This
When
one
I said
scenario.
underlying factors, I was speaking to him getting ready to leave
Okay.
specifically. So when you mentioned time and I mentioned time, in my mind, man, 8 months for a man to decide, man, my wife cheating on me and I have to really sit with this, to me, that's a long time. So in my mind, when I hear he been deliberating for 8 months, he knew 8 months, it's like, rationally speaking, this man had to have some other things lined up because when he set that up, he was ready to go.
But do you don't think that initial shock, initial trauma would put anybody in that mind state? But like, hell, I'm out of here.
It
Hell
wasn't
no, because
initial.
these people are
I
slow.
can't see any of you women being in a marriage or committed relationship, and then okay, you assume that he's been doing it for 8 months, 5 months, 4 months, and then you confirm it I can't believe you saying, okay, we're gonna talk about it when we get home. You could be like, Ninja, get the hell out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You
be
got to
honest with
go.
you. No, a lot of women, if it's a woman is many times they will self destruct. A woman will go and literally bash a man up and down on every platform on social media, go on TikTok and go viral. And in the same night, he'll be back over at her house, or they'll be back together like nothing happened.
But men
You
and women
cannot
are
trust
different though.
women. Right. So when you're saying a person heard this in the moment they reacted like this, you cannot trust women to uphold. A lot of times women don't stand on business. Bottom
But what
line.
I'm saying is the message that they put out. Like we saying the same
And they be
thing.
lying.
But okay, but we don't know that until
No,
they
I know
actually.
that because I'm in women's faces. They be
But not
lying.
every woman moves. I mean, we don't know what every
Majority of
person is
them
doing.
are lying to you.
Well, they're not lying to me. They lying to the
They lying to
syndicate.
themselves.
Yeah, they're
They're
not
lying.
lying.
Can I say
Wow.
something here?
Wow.
Paris, I'm gonna disagree with you on something. I know me personally, if that was me and I was blindsided with this information, my default is we're done. That's my default. So I don't know if he knew about it for 8 months. If you called me, if we were talking for 2 weeks, 2 years, 20 years, we're together, and you tell me you're cheating on me, my initial reaction is we're done.
No, Joe, he
That's
said it in the video. He
what.
literally mentioned the time. That's why I said that.
Well, no, I understand what you're saying, but you're saying he may have knew and prepared and gathered his things and made sure he had his ducks in a row before he ended it. I can't. Maybe he was. Again, this is all speculation on all our parts. But I know if that was me, my default, my reaction initially will be, "We're done." Now, is that an overreaction for 8 months? I don't think so. Like I said, if it was a one-time thing on a vacation, this girl had another relationship with this dude. It's a whole. That's if a guy did that, he'd have a second family. He's done. This girl might kill him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really look at it like there's no excuse for this. She's gotta be done. And my question here is for everyone. I think I already know the guy's answer. Real quick, fellas, you're not forgiving this girl after 8 months, right? You're pretty much done. Ladies, and Payne asked this question. How would you handle this? What would you say to try to get this guy to stay? What would be you're literally caught red-handed with a gun in the bank. How do you fight this? How do you justify this?
You have to be honest. You can't be trying to justify anything. You can't be trying to make excuses. You can't try you have to be accountable for your actions. Now is a time where the rubber meets the road. And you
Right.
got me on this radio. And so if you want the real, we're gonna have to just look.
Which leads to a split. He's not gonna date a girl who's dating another guy, right? So if you're together 8 months,
You're
if you
married.
right, so I personally think she just wanted her cake and eating it too. She got straight up caught. She would have done that for
So
5 more
Joe,
years.
let me ask you this. Joe, let's throw this on the table. What Precious is saying, listen, if a woman came to you with a mea culpa, right? In this
Okay.
situation, she throws herself on the mercy of the court.
Okay.
All the things that went wrong that she said, and she doesn't point them at you, and she says, listen, I want us to get past this. And the question is, she's got to throw herself on it, because as soon as she says anything that says I'm responsible for it, then we don't have no conversation. So she actually has to throw herself on the mercy of the court, hat in hand.
Right.
And it's going to
Now,
be up to me to forgive her.
of course, but here's the
Right?
thing.
So the forgiving part is okay. I can understand the forgiving part. The forgetting part is worse.
I was just gonna say that. You can't. You could
It's
forgive for your own
worse.
peace.
Because, if you just got to know human nature, even the nature of cheating, she was breaking this guy off a piece that she probably hasn't given me in years.
For 8
So
months.
I'm sitting here going, holy shit, man, he's got her upside down and all kinds of shit. And it's going to take me a while to get, I'm going to have to get, all I'm just going to say is nobody cheats and just do like, just basic missionary.
No, listen, Pain, it's the
Just
same thing.
let it all out. Let
It's
it
the
all
same
hang
thing.
out.
It's the
I'm not
same
making a
thing.
little joke of it, but I'm just saying.
It's the same thing as last week with the jewelry. This guy will always think of the guy she cheated on him with. There is no forgiveness there. If this guy forgives and gets back with her, she's gonna do it again. You know
Well, if
that
you're a
because she
Christian,
has.
you can forgive, but can you
No,
do
yes,
things to make
forgive,
the yeah.
forgive for our own peace,
Right.
for our own happiness. I have to let it go. It is what it is, and move on. But to
If we have children,
forgive,
I'm not going to hate her for the rest of her life for that.
no, you can't. It
So,
actually,
or you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do that.
no, but at some point you'll thank her for doing it then instead of 10 years later, right? That's the way I would like to
Actually, I'll
look
do
at
a
it.
paternity test. That's for sure.
Right.
Well,
But
to answer your question,
yeah.
the best way is to own everything. You
Yeah.
can't hide from it. You know, it's kind of it's not kind of it's a slap in the face for me to see you sticking your hand in my wallet and then you telling me I ain't do that. What the hell do you mean? I'm watching you.
Yeah,
So if
100%.
I were to be in a predicament where I'm the one being adulterous to my husband, he see me. This is what it is. At that point, it's not time to blame and shame him. It's time to say, you know what? Yep, you see it. This is what it is. You know, this is what I would like to do. But I know ultimately the decision is yours. There is no talking somebody out of trying to rationalize why you mistreated them. There's no talking them out of that. That's a
Okay.
personal decision.
I agree. Now let me ask you a question. Let's say me and you were dating, you did that to me. And then you take it full accountability. I'm sorry. It'll never happen again. And I forgive you and take you back. Realistically, do you have any more respect for me?
Well,
Come on.
this
No, come on. You
no no no
can't.
no. I please don't fish for an
I'm
answer.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I
Okay. I'm
don't
sorry.
like when y'all do that because
I'm
I'm
sorry.
not that type of woman. Don't
Okay.
fish
I'm
for an
sorry.
answer, right?
I apologize.
Um, I don't think that cheating is always the recourse of a lack of respect or love for a person. You know, so this is why I said when you mentioned how you would respond versus how Coach Ferg said like he would respond, right? If you're talking about timing, you talking about a person protecting themselves, their own interests, this, that, and the third, that's an assumption implied that, hey, maybe this could have been. It's not hardcore. You know, it's not hardcore. Because if I walk in the house and I see a woman on top of you, I'm liable to get my Glock. That's just what it is. But you don't take everything for what it is in the moment because sometimes as humans we gonna behave as humans. So me saying, hey, I went and cheated, it could have been literally a one-time thing. It could have been a moment of weakness. Maybe we was on bad terms. All of these other exponential factors matter in regards to me having respect for you. Because if she having a
Okay.
relationship for 8 years and she did it with your friend, I don't think that there's respect there.
No, of course not. Of course not. But
That's a
for me,
different situation, right? You saying me and you together, Joe, we dating or whatever, and I cheated on you. You find out. I
with
cheated just one time, but this guy I cheated with, it was just like we was just on bad terms. You wasn't living at the house at the moment. If it's all these other factors, that's not a replication of a lack of respect. That's a circumstantial situation where,
no, I disagree. I think if
okay,
you cheat on your man, you're showing him no respect, not just for him, but for the
that's
relationship.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair,
So,
right? I'm not
but
at liberty to tell you what's respectful. I'm just saying that if we were to go back into a relationship full throttle, that doesn't indicate that I lack respect for you.
well, here's the thing. Here's all right. I understand what you're saying. I think in theory you want to believe that, but as time goes by, you'll respect me less as a man because I'm not holding you accountable.
I think that's a personal thing.
Well, I get
I
it.
don't I think that a lot of times again, I don't speak like the regular woman y'all used to hearing speak. So for
No
me
pressure.
specifically, that ain't gonna fly.
Well, here's the thing. Traditionally, statistically, when someone cheats and they get away with it, they cheat more and more and more. That's why they say once a cheater, always a cheater. Do I want to believe that? No. But statistically, I see it all the time. People call me, especially girls, their man cheated on them. Then they use that bullshit title. Well, we're not exclusive. Then they're gone for a few months. Then they take them back. And the girl keeps allowing it to happen, right? The reason why he keeps doing it is because she keeps allowing it to happen. You gotta cut that off and move on.
Nah, because
Because
then you placating responsibility on her for his actions. I
well,
cannot allow you to do something you were already going to do. If we
well,
sat down, here's the thing, right? If we're two mature adults that communicated, this is what happened. I don't like it, but I understand. We're going to move forward. If you choose to pursue that action again, at that point, it's on me to say, I don't like this, let me leave. But I'm not responsible for the shit you keep doing. The same way this man is not responsible for this woman to go out and cheat with his friend, he is responsible whether or not he stay in that relationship. Them two different things. I don't let you cheat on me. You go and do what the fuck you want to do. I deal with the consequences of what you're doing.
right. I agree. I hear you. I understand that. For me personally, if that was to happen, it's a deal breaker only because I know how I would feel the rest of the time in that relationship. It'll always be on the back of my mind. I'll never trust you again. I'll never feel like you respect me. I'll never respect myself. These are important things in play for a relationship. So if that was to happen, you eat it, you deal with it, you deal with the heartache, you move on. It's gonna take a while, but you cannot go back into that relationship because it's like what we talked about with the jewelry. The girl wore that chain last week, and this dude's gonna constantly be reminded of an ex. He should have shut that down right away. And listen, it's not a control thing. We can't really discuss our emotions and our feelings to an extent that women can. But if we do learn how to phrase it, and it's so hard for us to be vulnerable, if we are vulnerable and express how we feel about something and you still don't respect it, we got to go. And a lot of men can't do that. A lot of men can. I know for me in my past, I've done the opposite. Now there's a lot of deal breakers, a ton of deal breakers that I won't allow. Just like Coach asked me, if would you let your friend go over your house, hang out with your wife when you're not there? No, that's a deal breaker. That's just something you don't do, and she should govern herself as well. She should be like, you can't come in here right now. My husband's not home. These are certain things that I feel like men and women have forgot about, that they just want to allow everything to be okay. That's fine. They're human. No, people need to start taking accountability for their shit, and they need to be held accountable, and they need to suffer the consequences. You can't keep getting away with treating people like shit constantly and then making excuses. Well, I'm human. You're just a fucking piece of shit human. That's how I would look at it. You know
100.
what I'm saying? Because we're all raised a certain way for the most part, right? And then somewhere along the line, we think it's okay to just treat people like shit. Like I said, this girl didn't even apologize. She didn't say, I'm sorry, baby, I fucked up. There is no apology there. It was 8 months. That's the thing that gets me. If he never caught her, she's still doing it. Still
and
doing it.
on vacation,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
having a great time.
yeah,
and your husband,
and think about what this guy's going through in his mind. Now he's gonna play all the 8 months in his head, all the things they did. How could anyone forgive that and respect themselves in the process? At the end of the day, if you don't respect yourself, your love is not going to respect you.
I
You
want to
know,
step in real quick since I just
please.
now walked into the conversation. Precious, I told you this before when I was your guest previously. I said every time you put up a post on Instagram, you confirm everything that I've said on your previous show. Am I correct on that?
You have said that. Yes.
Thank you. Now I'm listening to this brother talk when he was talking to what's her name? I can't quite see her name on here, but
Paradise Paradise.
okay. Um, somebody posted something on your video, Precious. Play stupid game, win stupid prizes. They have a problem with this guy getting on the radio, acting like the dude, like she won a prize of going to Myrtle Beach and all like that. They have a problem with this guy doing that. Basically, they're calling him petty. That was the only way he was going to find out.
Yeah, they're paying
He
attention to the
suspected it.
execution, the
He
wrong things.
suspected it, but he had no proof. He said, "You know what? I need to put the nail in the coffin." That's
Yeah,
how he looked at it, and I commend him on that. Instead of him just dipping out. Um, Not only was she cheating on her husband, this woman is living in his house didn't feel no remorse of doing whatever she did with this dude Brian, and picked this fool to go to Myrtle Beach with her instead of her husband. What
And
kind of
called
woman
her
is that?
husband Brian.
What kind of
She
woman is
called
that?
her husband Brian. Come
Exactly,
on.
by accident, by accident.
Oh,
And like you said earlier, she never apologized. Sorry. The first thing out her mouth, and I'm gonna say this one more time, man. The person's first reaction is normally the honest one. Her first reaction was not, I'm sorry. Her first reaction is, let's talk.
manipulation and
Right. She
justification.
wanted to
That's her
talk
first
herself out of the
reaction.
bullshit.
That
Right.
bitch is evil. She's
Right.
evil,
Yeah.
that bitch. Cut her
And what did I
off
and what did I
quickly.
say? Coach, you also there? I said women are freaking evil. I'm not talking about all women. I'm talking
No,
about in general. When you do some evil stuff like this, man, women are fucking evil. Women were happy that Kevin Samuels died. That's some evil shit. It is. Instead of taking the time to understand where this man is coming from, you're mad at Kevin Samuels because he's responding to a question by the way the woman answered it. That's why you don't like this guy. Come on, let's be real, man.
oh,
And just
that's the
like you
dude
said
who was.
earlier, like the thing that I don't understand, man. When a guy takes a woman back, right? I agree. In mass, we're talking about in mass. I want women to stop saying this is not true because you're not like that. When men respond to stuff, we talk about in mass, majority. Most women won't respect the guy if the guy takes her back. Only a selected few, a mature woman will look at it like, damn, he took me back. He must really, really love me. This guy just, he forgave me. I'm so happy he did. Now I got to get on my A game. That is a rare relationship to find.
Hell yeah. It's like
Rare.
finding a leprechaun. They
Oh
don't
my gosh,
exist.
that's like a needle in a haystack. But how
That's
often is that? How often
doesn't.
do those things transpire?
A
How
needle, a
often do
needle, a
how
needle in a
often do the
haystack of
man
needles.
let the woman
Yeah.
back into his life? There's no way a man could let a woman back in his life and say, and a woman could tell him, is there any way that we can forget about the pet? He better not say, yeah, we can, because he's lying.
No,
There's
of
no
course
way he'll
not,
be able
bro.
to forget it.
It's a
No
rule
way.
of life. You show weakness, you're gonna get exposed. Same thing if you're in prison. Same thing if you're out on the street and you're in the street game. Anytime you show weakness and are willing to give in, they're gonna expose that. They're gonna take advantage of that. All humans. Even if you don't want to, if that's not your intention, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, well, I might get away with this because he allows this shit to happen. That's just how it is. You have to stand your ground. And most people are scared to do that because then they got
Right,
to start over and be single and end up alone for a long time. But at least you're respecting yourself. And
right.
that's
Now
important.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna give y'all the floor. Women don't respect men like that.
Of course not. He's a simp.
Women respect when they see their ex can do better than them, prettier than them, sees a smile on his face and everything like that. Period. Women respect guys who know how to move on and grab something better than what he had, especially if she knows that he got something better than her. She can't
No,
stand
they
that.
don't. Women don't have a general consensus of respect for men and nothing that they do. And
That's a
even when you
fact.
add another
That's
woman
a
into the
fact.
equation, that just makes it
It's
worse.
the worst.
Because all she'll do is tell
No,
herself in her mind,
I'm talking about the woman that left the guy
and I'm
for
and all
for
and
not
all
even a
she is
good
going
enough
to
reason.
do, and all she's going to do in her mind, especially if she left him, rationalize how worse that woman is with him. She's not going to do anything that
Baby
justifies him,
girl,
her saying, oh, he's in a better position. She's not going to do it.
baby girl, there are already right now that I've seen way too many videos of women posting video selfies of themselves crying and complaining how they left a good man and this, that, and the third. There's way too many of them. There is
Yeah,
no
but you
argument.
have to think about
My
how
comment,
long it took. That's
sweetheart,
not the
sweetheart.
majority.
My
That's
comment,
not
my
a common thing.
my comment is not up for debate. It's already solidified. always
Yeah, it is
solidified.
up for debate.
It's
Yeah, it
always
always is.
solidified.
Everything
There's
that you
way
see
too
on the
many
internet
women
is
out.
up for debate.
Let me get this out. There are way too many women right now that got selfie videos in their car, mainly in their car, living room, wherever they at, talking about they want their man back. And the funny thing about these particular women, most of those women said that their ex-man moved on to another woman and he seems happy. And when I heard these women say that, I'm like, are these women keeping tabs on their exes that they left?
Well, what you're talking about is confirmation bias, right? You're seeing things that resonate with what you see in your algorithm. It's true. It happens. That doesn't mean it's common. The mass of women, ego ain't set up like that. So just because you're seeing a select few of women who are justifying, hey, I own that I fucked up. I own that I was the reason why this relationship failed. In reality, that's not a common thing for women to admit they were the reason that a relationship failed.
Most women don't hold themselves accountable.
No
Correct.
way.
So
It's
what
always
you're
the
saying
Most
is
ex.
women don't hold themselves
confirmation
accountable. So
bias.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, but
I'm
she's
Well,
saying
agreeing
you're
with you.
wrong.
So
That's
y'all
You
she
proving
just
will.
admitted you were wrong.
y'all
she's
proving
agreeing
my
with you,
point.
sir.
She was
Women don't
agreeing
hold
with
themselves.
you.
Women don't hold themselves accountable.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
agreeing with you.
yeah. No, I'm saying like if since women don't hold themselves accountable and they're on these videos, whether it's in my algorithm or whatever the case may be, it doesn't take away the point. The
Actually,
point is
it completely overrides your entire point
how so?
because that's not a common thing. You're seeing a very small minority of people. That's just as small as the LGBTQIA plus community. It's only 3% of them in the entire population of the world. That's
What
a
that got to do with what I just
small.
said?
What I'm saying is, if you admit women do not hold themselves accountable, that accountable percent that's holding up videos is a very, very small, insignificant factor to the majority of women. That's not something that's common. Does it happen? Yes. But the mass of women are not outpouringly say, I ruined my relationship.
Right.
That's true.
That's true.
That's
Right.
true.
But why? I wonder why they're not saying it.
We
Here's
need to
Because they
stop
don't feel
asking. We
that
need to
way.
stop asking why.
well, no, I was gonna lead. I was. It
They're
was
not true,
actually.
but I'm just saying men need to stop wondering why. I think that's
Well,
just part of women's nature.
I think it's
That's what I
important. I don't think that's the case, and I'm going to tell you
think. Okay.
why.
Okay, tell me why.
The reason is a lot of women, in my experience, they don't take accountability because they have friends or people they speak to that co-sign their behavior. No one's holding them accountable, and a lot of these women, they have their 3 or 4 girlfriends like, so what, girl, you could do better, fuck him, fuck him, fuck him, instead
100.
of these women talking to their mothers.
You got to be clear. The
Or
mothers might not be the right person to talk to. By the
well,
way.
here's the thing, I'm just going by my experience, what I hear, and I have friends that are girls that are 10, 15 years younger than me that are complaining. I'm like, but what did you do in this situation?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do to let this happen? I'm not saying you're to blame, but look at your own behavior, see where you could have went right. Oh, well, I did this. Okay, so what? They don't have friends that are telling them.
But Joe, listen, I agree to a point. As old as I am, you know, that even back in my day, when women used to have morals and standards and shit like that, they still weren't taking accountability. They
Initially.
still didn't take accountability, man. I remember my aunts, even though they worked and they did all those kind of things, but they leaned on their mother and my grandmother all the time because they were doing all kinds of stupid shit, even in their marriages and after their marriages, and they still couldn't own up to it. I'm not saying it was a natural thing. Maybe that's wrong, but there's something there, man. Women,
It's environmental, and men
even
need to
Shahrazad
actually.
It's
Ali said
environmental.
the one
I
thing
know
the
what you're
black,
saying,
especially the
Kane.
one thing a woman, let me just finish this. I'll be
Sorry.
finished. One thing, especially in the black community, right? You might not know this. This woman said this shit almost 50 years ago, 70, 30 years ago, that the one group of ladies who never been under analysis is a black woman. Because nobody holds anybody accountable, but that's just generational. it's not just a few in 2020. It's just generational. It's been passed down for like 70 years.
But see,
Maybe more than that, because that's all I can remember.
But here's the thing. I know a lot of black women that I work with, that I'm friends with, that I'm cool with,
Hold on. I
that
said
take
black. We can
accountability.
extrapolate that across the women, across the whole diaspora, by the way.
Yeah, in general, women don't take accountability. I get that. It's like 70-30, right? But it's more so now with younger girls because I think they don't want to take accountability because they don't want to seem like they're wrong and they feel like there's a million options out there, right? So they
No,
don't ever want to turn the new options off
no.
by saying there's something wrong with them. It's always the ex's fault. It's always his fault. It's always
You
his
can't
fault.
look at it like it's not what they want to. You sort of just explained it. A lot of these behaviors are passed down from the mindset of those who did not have the successful relationship. It's just bad information from those that are close to them. Us guys, we give young boys some bad information sometimes. Go out here, man, get all the ass you can get. Yes, it sounds good on the surface, but we're not saying, listen, by the way, you might have 3 or 4 baby mamas along the way, bro. So go ahead. But it's bad information. And I think as far as this modern time, women are now coming out and saying, hey, don't do enough sex. But again, I can say from that same voice, those women are saying you can come over here and we can start taking care of your needs over here on this side. But it's bad information, and I think the information if young women could get a lot of the information from man and a woman who's holding themselves accountable, then it could be a better result in the end. Right now, I'll say this all the time, man. And my little crack era adults, man, they fight on both sides of the fence. Everybody's, oh, it's gonna happen. Did it happen to you? No, my cousin, 3 cousins removed. It happened. I've seen it. Instead of saying, I see it, it could be a possibility, but I have to position myself to get the result that I want. And I don't believe nobody's, especially men, are we starting to say, you know what? I don't want no family. I don't want a woman to be with me. But once we see that example, people start running from the realities of trying to have a relationship. Most women today, they don't have to be accountable. Society says you don't have to be accountable. Commercials say you don't have to be accountable. And you can see how the dynamic can be really scary for a lot of women because now that they're sort of going to look at these birth control and these AB's laws, a lot of women are in fear because now they have to be accountable. They're going to be held accountable. And that
They're
shit is
not.
scary.
They're not.
Okay.
Let me just step in. Let me
But
just step in, Coach.
the demise of
Coach,
the
let me just
AB
step in.
laws they're well exaggerated. Trust
Okay.
me.
Well,
So
we going to continue
what
to go down this
I'm gonna
road.
have to disagree to a certain degree. Most men hold other men accountable.
All the
Yes.
They
time.
do. Yeah.
Yes.
We,
I
most
was
men,
I was
Depending
watching
on,
the Chiefs last night, man.
huh?
I know.
What happened,
I
Precious?
do.
they
And
was
What
all
happened,
40
Precious?
and under pressures. I understand. 40 and under, y'all struggle with that.
it was bad. They were
Most
damn bad. Y'all don't hold y'all don't hold each other accountable when y'all cheating on y'all woman. Y'all don't
I'm
hold
not
each other
talking about.
accountable.
No, no,
That
no,
true.
no, no.
No,
I'm not talking
no
about that.
you see here talk nothing when it come to that.
I'm not
Bro,
talking
that
about that.
is crazy on other people's network with
That's
that.
bad.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
you're not talking
about
about that. We know you're not talking about that because none of y'all be talking about that.
no. What I'm talking about is men's friends hold each other accountable. Like,
For
yo, man, you
everything.
fucking up. Yo, man,
Yep.
you messing up. Blah blah blah. I don't know
Except
what type of men y'all be around. I'll be around some real ones, and real ones. Most men that got homies. Yo, dog, you messing up. Blah 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 blah. So on so on.
Oh yeah.
Women don't hold their girlfriends accountable. Sisters don't hold their own sisters accountable. And to add insult to injury, they secretly hating on their best friend girlfriend. They secretly hating on their own sister.
Yep.
They really do that. They not gonna put it out on the forefront. They're not
Nope.
gonna do that. But what they will do, they will find a way to manipulate it in a way to where help her let go of a good man. Girl, don't put up with that. Nah, you too good for that. Blah blah blah. Come on, girl, stop it. You know he a good dude. Your sister know he a good dude, but she's not trying to see you with a good dude for one or two reasons. One, either her sister is single, or her sister is in a relationship that she's unhappy with. So guess what? The positive advice, she ain't gonna get that. It's not gonna come from a good place at
Right.
all. At all.
These women are dead fish street, like flowing downstream. Like I don't even know why men talk about those women. They're dead fish flowing down the stream.
We're talking about
These women are going to bump their heads. They're not going to listen to someone like me that's like, yo, you need to let him see his child because that's his child. Like they're not going to listen to someone who is level-headed because they're so hard-headed. And that's the result of not having parental figures. It's the result of not having someone wise in your corner to give you wise counsel. So when it comes, it seems like a foreign concept. And who are you to tell me? And mind you, I mean, I communicate things with. I feel like I can talk to anyone because I do communicate these things with love and empathy. But to the young women out here who have access to social media, and they and again we going back to men like, oh well, you should be the voice for the young women. When they see my little video scrolling, they see 100 other women telling them, oh, you should lie, you should do this for your gain, do this for I'm not wasting I have real encounters with people. I'm not wasting my time on the internet for you to be scrolling just to scroll right past because you're not mature enough to accept a message.
Precious, do you know why they don't listen to you? Precious, do you know why they don't listen to you? I'm gonna tell you exactly why. I'm gonna tell you exactly why they don't listen to you. Now, I'm just gonna make an educated guess. My educated guess is the reason why they don't listen to you because their selfish ways doesn't benefit them in your advice. Your advice doesn't benefit them because they have selfish ways. So it don't matter how much logic you're talking about, that logic is always going to go over their head. Conveniently.
But even with that, Precious, in your message, do your message convey that those individuals that move like that should hold themselves accountable?
Yes.
Right. And that comes what it comes down to, holding the person accountable. You do that and you can listen, you get that pushback from women. You don't get that pushback from men.
Mm-hmm.
Because we understand that within our men groups, even as, you know what I'm saying, around teenager, 18, 24, if me and our pain been knowing each other 30 years, then, and he's telling me some stuff that he doing this stupid. I don't care if we had the basketball court, I'd be like, man, you fucking up. Don't fuck that up, man.
Yeah,
and he gonna do me the same, right? But we know each other. And like on YouTube, you really don't know nobody. And it's and this shows a great disconnect because a lot of people didn't have nobody telling them how to be accountable at a younger age. Now they're adults. Who can, Coach Ferg, your old ass can't tell me. You gotta get to my space. I'm not going down to you. You gotta, and it ain't about the money, but it's about that experience that you gotta go through. And at some point, if you want to be the best man for myself, and I speak only myself, I don't go by my damn feelings at all. When I speak for myself, if our pain give me some information, Brother Rick, Joe, Lamont, even you, if y'all all give me pieces, I can piece all of that together and make a whole piece of pie. I can make some of it work. I don't care how y'all relay it to me. I might be like, man, why are you talking loud? But I don't care about that. My father talks stupid to me. So anybody in the street, I ain't keep it moving. But at the same time, the message, when you conveying it, and I'm so stubborn in my BS, I'm not hearing it. And that's what it is. These women are sacrificing the prime time of their lives where guys are like, man, I want to be with you. But just because he don't have a certain aesthetic, he's boring because he's been working for the city for 12 years and he come home with his vest on. That's not exciting.
Well,
and
Coach,
the women are like, girl, you don't want that.
Coach,
you want to be with us. We 3 or 40 right now. You can't give up your best years to go be this. And then when they get to that space where we all age out, now they trying to circle back and it's too late. Now they return to the other young girls. Don't fuck with them. And guess what they do? I see it. A lot of older women, 40 something, 42. Oh, they sleeping with all the 25, 26-year-old dudes.
Yep.
They running up on all them and telling the girl, you don't want them young dudes. They don't know what they doing. Shit. Catch a dude 28, ain't got nowhere to go. But they do it. That's why we got the cool.
And what's crazy is, y'all, that the accountability with men exists in the pop culture. The stuff y'all use against men with movies like Fences. Then y'all seeing Fences where Denzel Washington was out there moving and shaking, and his boy was like, "Man, come on, I ain't trying to see you mess up what's going on with your wife. What's popping?" That's what happens. That's what happened with your fellas for real, right? But let's. Do we have an understanding that cheating is different for men and women?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I hope so.
And let me explain. Let me explain, right? Because I think this is where we really lose the disconnect a lot of times. And listen, wrong is wrong. I said that already, right? Messed up is messed up, right? But if we being honest, and I'm always honest with y'all, and we grown, right? For a man that, and listen, if y'all out there hoeing whatever, listen to what I'm saying. You ain't taking care of your business like you supposed to. That's a whole different ball of wax, right? That's the game. I ain't talking about games. I'm talking about life, right? As a man, and my married men know this, right? And you take a woman and you dedicate your life to her. You dedicate your life to her, right? What does that mean? What does that really mean, right? It's not just the financial stuff, right? But like Mr. Payne said earlier, everything we do puts in back to you. It does. And ladies, whether y'all want to acknowledge this or not, this gonna sound messed up, but this is the honest to God truth. I'm gonna keep it gangster with y'all, right? Really, right? Really, when we dealing with y'all, really the only thing y'all can give us is pussy. A man that's able to handle his business. You ain't his mama. Listen to what I'm saying. You not his mama. He everything you have, he makes your life better. Right? The home he got you, he purchased. The car you're in, he purchased, right? He makes your life easier. Your pussy is a reward to me.
Not to
I'm
me.
just being whatever.
In theory, yes.
Thank you. Let's keep it gangster.
But
Let's
here's
keep
the
it.
thing.
No, I'm not finished. Let's keep it gangster, right? If we talking about the true essence of a man and a woman being together in a marriage situation, right? I'm not again, like you said, Lamont, in mass, right? In mass. And whether y'all want to put it this way or not, I had to earn that.
Did you hear what I said?
I had to earn it.
You had to earn what?
I had to earn access to her.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Can I say something?
No, I'm not finished.
Okay.
I had to earn access to her, right? And what women don't understand, right? If this man is not taking from you, right? So what it makes a man feels like is that I'm a sucker for putting into your ass, and you just giving your pussy out there free willy-nilly.
Okay, now I see where you're going.
That motherfucker, your side dude didn't have to do shit but smile for you.
Mm-hmm. Now we getting somewhere.
Yeah, now I see. You're right.
Right? That's y'all currency. Everything else is extra. Hopefully you a good woman and you support me and you can cook. Y'all see what I'm saying?
100. I was trying to see where you was going with when you was talking about you had to work for that to get the access to and this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, you put in all this work to get to that point, And she cheated on you. She cheated on you with a dude who ain't even had to even go through all that.
Exactly.
So
Right.
that's why the cheating is
So
different.
the dynamic is different, right? But
Now,
but
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, bro.
Go ahead.
But
Go ahead.
again, from how y'all are being conditioned, right? Y'all look at the sex like it's an equal exchange. It's not.
Right.
It's never been that.
No.
Right. Right.
It's from
That's the same
childhood.
girl that said that on your video, Precious. She said it on your video. Did you read the comment? She said, well, men do it, but men, when they cheat on our women, they expect us. I mean, sorry, yeah. She said they expect us to take them back. But sis, it's not the same.
It's not.
It's more emotional ties when a woman do it.
Yeah.
Way more emotional ties.
Yeah, man.
Most
Vic was
men
on the
don't
right
have no
track.
emotional ties.
Do you know why it's an emotional tie? At least in my opinion, women, since they're young, are taught, don't chase a man, he's got to chase you. Don't chase a man, he's got to chase you. You have to be sought out. You have to be coveted. You have to be
the
all these
emotional
things.
tie thing. That's true. But take the emotional tie. Rick is on the right track. We'll just get down to brass tacks. Brass tacks. And this is why women really accept their men back, because they know it inherently. They know it. Then that's why I say when a man has earned them the bounty of his labor, they give it to him freely. But if they give it to somebody else, that's another reason why men can't go back. But women accept men back based on his value to them. They always do. That's why men get away with it more. If he's a bum, it's easier for him to discard him. But if he has all this shit going on, even if she could divorce and take some of it, that's still not the same if she's a woman that wants to be cleaved by a man who covers her.
Right.
Because no way, all of those things that he's done for her.
Well, our pain, even in the divorce, that's the proof, because she still takes a part of him with her.
That's right, and won't let it go.
Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're being conditioned that the dynamic is the same. It's never been the same.
No, and it never will be. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Two different, completely sides, you know? If I got to put all that work in, like he's saying, to get with her, and then someone else gets it and does nothing to get it, you know, it's crippling. It's
Okay,
absolutely crippling.
I'm not defending anything, right? So I'm just listening.
Okay.
But y'all are saying that the guy did nothing to get it and y'all did everything to earn it, right? Do you ever stop to think that there was something that you didn't do that could have been so easy to get it, but you just didn't do it? You were just doing all this other stuff.
No,
Well,
but y'all do.
No.
But y'all do.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Precious.
Hey, you telling on yourself.
Precious.
You telling on yourself.
It's all,
you telling on yourself.
I'm asking y'all a question because y'all will say, "Oh, well, he didn't do anything to earn it," and it's like, well,
see, but that would just mean that y'all don't. That would just mean, Precious, y'all don't marry the men y'all really like.
Well, that'll never be my ass. But
that no, see, exactly, because you're the exception. You see what y'all be making my point. We don't listen to what we say for real. We don't listen to what we say for real, right?
Would you be listen to what we say for real?
Would you be with a man that was useless to you?
No.
But that's what a side dude is. You like him enough to disregard everything that I did for you as a husband?
Well, no, I'm not taking the side of the side dude.
I know. I'm not trying to put it on you. I'm saying let's think about it.
On the side of I did all of this for you, right? And you should not be giving my coochie away. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a man who got your coochie. He got your coochie. What did this man do? Now, the woman is at fault because she gave it away. But
repeatedly.
why it repeatedly at that? Got your coochie repeatedly.
Yeah.
But
because he was there.
Why is this man getting your coochie repeatedly? Why?
Because he was there.
No, I think what she's asking. I think what she's
because any man can just be there, but she wanted to give him the coochie.
Yeah, but because she wanted to stray. And she picked that dude to do it with.
No, I don't think that's it, man.
We keep trying to point back to whether the guy.
It's because
I don't think that's it.
Her husband. She lost respect for, and it's not his fault. I mean, he
Not
can
at
be
all.
an upstanding guy.
yes, it is. Arcane, yes, it is. Listen to what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? My shit is circular because it's true. Yes, it is. Her asking this, and I'm not trying to pick on you, but like I said,
question itself.
hold on, Arcane. Hold on. Right? That question justified exactly what I said earlier. Listen to what you said. What is it that he has? What is it that I don't have? I take care of you. I provide you shelter. I protect you. Exactly. So why is it that there's something in this man that you like that you don't see in me? Why are you here?
That is a very good question. But these
let's stay there. Let's not move past it. Let's not move past it. We're getting somewhere. We're really getting somewhere if y'all paying attention, right? Let's keep it right there. So why is it that 80% of divorces are initiated by women, right? Because you married a man you didn't like in the first place. Listen, sis. I know you can have it. I ain't trying to disrespect. I'm just trying to make a point, right? Listen, it's my job, right? It's my job, right? Once you convinced me, you convinced me. I didn't convince me. You convinced me that you're a wife. By your actions, the way you move, things of that nature, right? So if I select you as a wife, right? And then as a man, again, what I said, a man about his business. I ain't out here acting crazy. I ain't out here moving and shaking and disrespecting you. I'm providing you with everything, what did y'all say? That was implied in the agreement.
Did you hear what I said?
But you can ask me the question as a woman, it was something in him that you liked. And I'm the problem?
No, I'm saying that it's
But
not.
Precious, yeah, sorry, go ahead, Precious. I know what you mean.
I'm saying that I think that sometimes men have this notion that they're doing everything correctly, that they're providing everything that this woman needs, that he is being the knight in shining armor, right? And I'm not putting it on the man, because women have a part to play in this too, with the not being vocal, with not communicating, with not being real about how they truly feel about these men that they're in relationships with. So it's not just on the man. But what I'm saying is a man can have the mental picture that he is doing everything correctly, yet she gave your coochie away. And I'm not saying that she's right about that. I'm not saying that she should have done that. I'm not saying that she is in the right for doing it. She's completely wrong for going against the covenant and the vows. But what I'm saying is, when you think that you're providing everything and you think that you're doing everything right, and then she goes out and does this, do you not question why she did it, other than she's just a raggedy hoe?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, does it ever cross your mind? Why, what did he have that I wasn't doing? I thought I was providing everything for you.
Okay, well, I think
Well, let me go ahead, Joe. Go ahead,
sorry, I think if I was understanding this right, to simplify it, let's say a man has to do 10 things for a woman, he only did 9. That one thing the other guy's doing, so it's gonna bring her to that way. That's how I'm understanding it, rather than get into detail about it. The fact of the matter is, where the woman, and I'm not gonna say all women, but most women want all these things from a man, but they don't get the attention they want. Because a man's busy working and doing all the shit he's got to do, right? So a woman finds the attention from someone else. And that's why he gets it so easily, because all the other boxes are crossed that this guy's given, but he's not giving her the one thing that she thinks she needs.
That she desires.
Exactly. So a man could do 9 out of 10 things, but that one thing is wrong that she's not getting, so she's getting it from someone else. You know how crippling that is for a guy to feel if he did 9 out of 10 things right and she gives it away to this dude, because realistically, a woman's only with a man under the condition he checks off all those boxes. A man will date a girl that works at McDonald's if she's sweet and brings peace to him and she's funny. But a woman won't do it unless check, 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 check off all these boxes. So at the end of the day, you can't really, as a guy, if I know I'm holding my own, right, and I'm doing everything I was raised to do for a woman and she still cheats, I'm not going to dissect what I did wrong. I'm going to think she's just a ratchet bitch. And, she did me a favor. Yeah, I deal with the heartache, but she did me a favor because I did everything I'm supposed to do. And the one thing I'm lacking today, she went and found from someone else. And that's just women having that option constantly. They have that option.
Joe, let me just piggyback off
Yeah,
of
go ahead.
what you just said. I had a conversation with with a woman that disagreed with what I said. I said men love harder than women do.
Mm-hmm.
She disagreed because women are more emotional. I said you can't go by that.
Nope.
The reason why I'm piggybacking off of what you just said, because I already had this type of discussion already, just in a different format. You just mentioned that men would do this, that, and the third, just to make sure a woman's happy. Men will put our own happiness aside to make sure a woman is happy, but a woman will put her man to the side for her own happiness. That is 100% fact, speaking in general, in mass.
Yep.
Now, to my response to what Pressure just said, what did this one guy do? Yeah, you may be doing all this and third. Women strive for attention. They strive for it. They love it.
Yep. They were
A
raised for
woman
that.
will openly not admit something that is true. Oh, I don't care about attention. Yes, you do, you lying bitch. You love attention. You
He's
expose your
right, though.
body out there. You wear revealing clothes. Come on, man. Nobody out of any species, man or the female, spends enough time in the mirror than women do. And you mean to tell me, sis, before you step out this crib, you saw how you looked in the mirror. You didn't see a problem with what you had on? So if you ain't got a problem with what you had on, guess what? The guys that want to see you that way don't got no problem with what you got on either. Because we want to see that too. You dig me? And for free. We want to see it for free.
But that brings it back to
How many women do you know? Christmas time coming up, right? How many women you know is gonna work that double to get her man everything he want for Christmas? I don't know any. But I know a bunch of men that work a 12-hour shift every day to get her everything she wants for Christmas. That's what my baby wants. That's why it hurts us more, because the work we put in. We put in way more work. Way more
You have
work.
to earn
That's why
her.
you
You
got
have
women out
to
there
earn
talking
it.
some 50-50, this, that, and the third. Says it ain't never been 50-50 with men and women. Never. The man is always going to put up more. So the one thing that we don't put up, you're going to give your attention to somebody else? Bitch, how the fuck am I going to give you the attention that you need if I'm putting 12-hour shifts to buy you shit that you want? How the fuck does that happen?
But here's the thing. How do we I think the goal
Bitches
here
shut the fuck
is
up. They know what the fuck they talking about.
the goal here is I think
Dumbass bitch.
every woman has the capability to be that, I feel. So for me, the goal is identify that in the beginning. For me, I
Right.
can't ignore the red
You
flags.
gotta
Right.
listen, just like I said, right? You gotta identify it.
Right. Yeah.
It's not her job. She doesn't have it's not up to her to be a lady of honest and prestige to tell you you gotta know that.
Right. And if she's not being like, I'll give you a perfect example. Big red flag for me right now is women on the gram that post revealing photos. I can't stand that. And that's a red flag. I don't care how hot she is. I don't care how much she's into me. I will never consider dating that girl if she's doing that, because like who just said it? Attention and money. These are the two things women want. Attention and money. And when all you have is your physical sexuality as your only asset, you're gonna do whole shit to get money. You're gonna seek attention to get that money, to get that satisfaction, to get the things you want. And those are red flags that that I cannot ignore anymore. I used to. Oh, this girl's smoking
But
hot.
here's
Let
the
me
thing.
throw a couple of dollars, take her out, have a good time, and then what? Then
But
what? She's
but again,
ultimately going to do the same shit elsewhere. So I had to learn myself that I can't ignore those red flags. And I think what Rick was talking about is, you know, we can't just ask a girl the truth about something. You know, they won't answer, especially if they feel guilty.
But it's about listen,
Joe,
women
can we be
talk.
totally honest? Can we be totally honest? Precious, the video with the dude, whatever the girl name is, and Brian, and what was the husband's name?
Jason, Jamie, Jody.
Was it Jason? Okay,
Don't
let
know.
me ask all y'all a question pertaining to that video, right? Jason said, "When I get home, all your stuff better be out my house." Am I right? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm interested to know, because I remember her saying, correct me if I'm wrong, did she say she wasn't leaving?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They're married. They're married.
Right. But when he said, because I'm going somewhere with this. When he said, "You and your stuff better be gone by the time I get home," am I right?
Mm-hmm.
And her response was she wasn't leaving. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if y'all know where I'm going with this. It's also pertaining
I
to
do.
Precious' question. Obviously, Brian can't provide anything that her husband is providing for, because if he was, she wouldn't have no problem leaving.
Yeah.
No problem. So that one thing, whatever that one thing that you said that her husband didn't do, obviously he, like Joe said, he checks a lot of boxes that she know Brian doesn't, and that's why she ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
Come
Right.
on, man. Women are dumb, but then again, they're
But
not
my
dumb.
thing is instead of leaving, are you going to figure out what that is?
No.
Because
Why?
Wait. Back up.
Let her answer.
Wait.
instead of leaving, because he said he's out, he's leaving. Would you find out what that is?
Why?
Right.
At that point, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
That's
Why?
the no. That's the answer is no. Why would I? When I gave you, like you just said, in my mind, I was giving you everything. The one thing that out of the 80-20, right? This women, y'all be 80-20 and the shit out some shit, right? So like you said this, sis, I didn't say that one thing. You were willing to risk everything for that one thing I didn't have. And the question that y'all pose to us is that one thing, do you think about that one extra thing I should have done besides all this stuff that I'm actually doing that you say I'm building up in my head as everything she wants, even though she wanted a new car, she wanted this house, she wanted to go on vacation, she wanted this, she wanted kids, blah, 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 blah. This is what's crazy. Exactly, right? You did me wrong, and you want me to look at it out of your perspective?
Yeah, that means you're in a relationship. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
No.
The woman has no perspective.
Hold on.
Relationships are y'all in?
Hold on, Precious. Wait a minute.
Excuse me. If your wife did something, right, and it's against something that you don't like, you wouldn't want to know why she did that thing?
If she knew why she did the bad deed, how come she didn't come to me and say it?
Well, she didn't. She didn't come to you.
So then why do I care? So she's discounting everything I've done right.
This is why we don't have the conversation. This is why it happens.
No, Precious. No.
It's not about having it both ways. It's about having a holistic.
But Precious,
you're not listening. You're not listening to this part. If I'm a dutiful husband, but I fell short somewhere, and your response to that was go bust it out for somebody else,
which is wrong.
Hold on for a second, and then come back to me and tell me, don't you want to know why I did it? How am I supposed to take that? I mean, tell me, listen, if it was something I could correct, wait a minute, you ain't let me finish. If it was something I could correct, you should have told me before you busted it out for a new guy.
The why don't matter at this point.
That's in a perfect world, guys.
No, it's not. Rick mentioned it. Hold on, Rick
It has
mentioned
nothing to
it.
do with the perfect world.
Hold on, Rick already mentioned it. Precious.
That's what
No,
you do.
Precious.
This is
Precious.
definitely not a
Think
fair
about it.
conversation.
We
This
are
is definitely
we
not
are
a fair
together.
conversation.
Me and my
If you're gonna
wife,
be
we
fair,
together.
if you're gonna be fair about
He
it,
already said he's
go ahead,
asking
coach. Go ahead,
her
coach.
week to
Go ahead, coach.
week, day to day. Hey, babe, you good? You straight? Everything good? I'm going about my work life, protecting and providing for my family. We haven't, babe. I'm going out every morning kissing you on lips and shit. You over here eating some other dude's cakes and shit. I'm over here making sure the damn fence is mended so nobody can't get in, fixing the camera angles so in case somebody do get in, my wife's protected, and I'm going out. Hey, we good? Yeah, baby, bye. So now you deceiving me? Why do I need to know why you did all this? You showing me you don't respect me. You don't love what I'm providing. You don't want none of that shit from
No,
me.
she loves what you providing.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
loves
yeah,
it
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
otherwise she wouldn't be
Yeah,
there.
that's what it
It's
is.
just again, like I said,
That's
she'll
all.
charge the game to you, but give it to that motherfucker for
Yeah,
free.
yeah. There you go.
That's the disrespect for
Because you
real.
didn't want me in the first place.
That's the disrespect for real. You using me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You'll
That's
use me up.
Yeah,
I wanna address
that's true.
a question that Precious just asked. Right? You said, Precious, you asked you wouldn't want to have the conversation, and the reason why the men are saying no, and again, Rick, like I said before, women don't listen to us. The reason why the men are saying no, that we don't want to have the conversation, because just like Payne said, whatever it is that we lacked, why don't you come to me and say, hey, babe, this bothers me that you don't do this? And then give him the opportunity to fix it. Now you want to have the conversation after you done got caught slipping? Do you really think the men, hold on, here's the question. With all that being said, and you want to finally talk about why you did what you did, do you really think the men are going to look at you like we're about to get a real conversation out of you? You know how the men are going to look at it? Here come the bullshit.
Yep.
I did this because of this. That's how they're going to look at it. A real one is going to be like, I ain't trying to hear this bullshit or why she feels though she had to do this. I did this because of you, because of me. No, you ain't do this shit because of me. You did this shit because of you. That's why that chick was so slick about it when she thought she won a free trip. That's why she was very specific. And she asked, does the person have to necessarily go with me? And the guy tricked her and said, no, he could just meet you there. You see what I'm saying? This was all thought about. She knew exactly what she was doing. Now here's the crazy part, right? What if what if this trip was real and the dude took a separate trip and met her there? How was she going to explain this to her husband? On what was she going to say? Hey, babe, I'm going on a business trip for the weekend. How was she going to get out the house and explain why she wasn't going to be there all weekend? Precious, let me ask you that question.
Ooh, good question. Good question.
I mean, she was lying to him for 8 months, so she would have found some type of lie. I mean, that's easy. She would have found some type of lie. She's been lying to the man for 8 months, so obviously she got her lies.
She
Lined
is
up, right?
correct.
She got a line
She is
lined
correct.
up.
That's what a
Okay.
cheater does, right? The cheater already got their lies stacked up.
Hold
They
on.
already know
Okay.
what's going to come out of
Hold
whatever.
on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold
Okay,
on.
so with
Right.
that being said, if her lie is already lined up on what she was going to tell her husband on whatever reason she was going to tell him that she won't be home for the weekend, after she got caught, in regards to that, let's just do it your way. They had the conversation, right? You do realize if they have the conversation, he's going to be asking her some really good questions that she won't be able to answer. Am I correct?
What do you mean that she won't be able to answer? Why wouldn't she be able to answer them?
No, no.
Because she's guilty.
The answers are going to be lame. Her answers are going to be lame. She's not going to say nothing real back. He's asking
Nope.
her some real questions on why she did what she did, and why did you lie in regards to, babe, I'm not going to be home this weekend, when he found out you was in Myrtle Beach with the other boy. The point that I'm making is I'm putting you in the zone of how the conversation is going to take place. What could you possibly say to this man that will be believable? Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
It's not about anything being believable.
Yes, it is.
That's out the bag. She cheated on him for 8 months. I mean, it ain't nothing about it being.
But you said, why wouldn't the man want to have a conversation about it? We're all
Let
saying
Rick
no.
talk. Let Rick talk. Okay, you got it.
Go ahead, Rick.
But like I said, and it's not the imperfect.
Does anybody understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
But y'all are looking for
no.
What would be believable? You already
no. I'm not.
We just said we don't want to have a conversation.
Come back.
There's nothing she could say.
No. Stop. Come back. That's really honestly, Lamont, it's a moot point. I hear you, but it's a moot point, right? I keep listen to what was the question you asked, Precious? What was the question you asked us of us men? If she cheated,
would you figure out the reason why? Like, would you have the conversation of why she did?
No. What was your backstory to it though? Right? We as men believe we doing the right thing, right? But she gave our pussy away, right? What is that thing that made her do it, right? What's the thing that I'm not doing?
Did you hear what I said?
What's the thing that I'm not doing? Ain't that what she said, y'all?
Yep.
Right? It's always our fault. That's why we not having the conversation. It's always our fault. That's why the conversation is null and void.
Yep.
This how y'all think. Y'all can't help it. Y'all programmed. Even the ones that believe they're exceptional. Listen to what I'm saying. This is how y'all think. It's my fault. It's my fault you did it. The one thing I did everything else in my mind. This is what you said. Men believe that they're doing everything, that they're providing, that they're giving, that they're taking care of the children. We believe it. But the one thing that I'm not doing, not that you just gave my pussy, it's not my pussy, it's your pussy, right? You give me your pussy willingly. And that's what y'all don't understand about the exchange, right? Like I said, I'm doing these 9 things, this 80% that actually cost me something. He smiling in your face and you like, and you giving him pussy. And it's my fault because it's that one thing, that 20% that you didn't get from me.
Hey, Rick, can I ask this
question? I love how y'all making it this cut and dry. One thing could be something over a year that she been asking this man for. It could be, and I'm not justifying her having sex with this guy. I'm not. It's wrong. She wrong. They should have had the conversation. But what I'm saying is, this shit is real life. Okay, people will go out and give your coochie away. Okay, they will go out and give your coochie away. Yet you have no refurb other than it's over. We're done. And it don't even really be over because y'all still got ties to keep you together. So it don't even really be over. So if you're not going to really break up, if you're not really going to separate, what conversations are you having? What conversations are you having? Because this stuff happens in real life. It's not, oh, I'm done. When you get to the house, make sure none of your stuff there no more. This is all cute and dandy.
Well, we know she wasn't gonna move out, but Princess, how come you can't see it from out? See, we hear what you're saying, but what I'm saying is
from you, our pain. I see it from you guys' side, right? I have brothers, I have uncles, I have a dad that raised. I see it from a man's side, but what I'm saying is, a man won't sit back and say, what part did I play in it? Although she made the decision,
we're telling you, you're
not
listening.
In a relationship. How can
you're not listening to it? You're not listening though. You're not listening. We are not going to accept any responsibility for you to do that. We're not accepting that responsibility. That's what we're trying to tell you, Precious. That's not how we're not going to take responsibility for you to give away your body to somebody.
It's just a physical thing, and we just gotta be okay
no,
with
Precious.
it.
The only way we would take responsibility is
one
if
cares.
she told us.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Get
hold on, Rick.
Beat rock.
I know where
Step on the street. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
No, I know where she's coming from. I understand where Precious is coming from.
Where's she coming from, Joe? Where's she coming from, Joe?
I think if this was something leading up to it, right? and she's unhappy for a year and a half. The only way we could take responsibility is if she tells us what we're doing wrong and we ignore it. But if she just does it,
but that's a
it
move of
happens
the
a lot
goalpost.
with men because you think you're doing everything
See?
that is
See?
supposed to. No,
See, look.
all right, but Precious. All right, so let's say we're doing one thing.
Listen, I know real people in
Let
these
him go.
situations. The man think he's doing everything that he needs to do, blah, 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 blah. The wife done say, hey, got her hair done. All that stuff y'all see in the movies and stuff like that, got her hair done, different stuff, want to spend more time with him. But he's working. He's doing what he has to do. This woman seeks attention elsewhere. But he doesn't realize that he's not doing everything. He's doing the things that him as a man feel as though he should be doing because he's married.
And she told us, and you told us about it.
But God said, according to knowledge. So if you're not going
My work here is done. My work here is done.
Thank you, Uncle Rick. If you're not going to take the knowledge, don't make it so cut and dry. Oh, I'm not going to have any responsibility in that. What kind
it is cut and dry.
Well, it is,
at this point, you want to complicate it. You want closure. You want me to have understand. I could give a fuck about how you feel at this point. I don't care.
Right.
Precious, I don't care.
Your feelings
Precious,
are
let me
not
ask you a
valid.
question.
This is good. This is good. I think we're getting
I have
somewhere.
a great valid question. I got a
just say that.
Precious.
Just say, babe, you hurt my feelings.
Precious.
That you didn't want to hurt my feelings.
You
I-
hurt
Precious.
You did a little bit more. You did a little bit more to hurt my feelings.
Precious.
Precious.
Look. It's okay, man. It's okay. It's okay.
Precious. I got a very valid question to what you.
Perfect. At the end of the day, you didn't do everything. At the end of the day, there probably is something that you missed. And that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you didn't do everything.
It always
Precious.
is. Ain't
Okay,
it?
let me
It always.
hold on.
I got you,
Wait,
Lamont.
wait.
Let me say something real quick. I got you. Right.
Go ahead.
Did y'all see the little story on Instagram where the comedian was like, Adam and Eve was in a garden. And Adam was like, look at this, man. We got everything. All our dreams come to life as soon as we think about it. We got food. We got everything. God loves us. And Eve says, it could be more, couldn't it?
Y'all sound like Adam now.
No, here's the thing, Precious.
Like Adam now.
And you sound like Eve. And you sound like Eve.
Right.
Oh, shit.
But guess what? Eve, I don't. Adam didn't want to. Adam didn't want to correct anything, right? Adam didn't want to get to the root. Adam knew what the law was, and Eve broke the law, and he didn't say nothing. He didn't say anything. He knew what it was. He didn't say anything. He didn't correct it. He didn't want to have no conversations. We're not talking about this. I'm not assuming responsibility. That was Adam. That sounds like y'all. Yeah. What do we need to talk about?
No.
What do we need to talk about?
He didn't say that.
Maybe.
He didn't say anything, and that's the problem with men. They'll live in misery. Y'all will be miserable. Y'all will be happily miserable in a marriage. Okay, miserable. You don't want to have conversations, and you don't want to get down to the core.
That's not true.
Maybe Joe and Rick could understand where I'm coming. Maybe.
No.
When you speak your opinion, got nothing to talk about.
Precious, right? I watch Star Trek, right? And they have this term called a Kobayashi Maru. And that's what you putting us in, right? The no-win scenario. That's what that is. I mean, because the point
that's what they say in marriage is, Arpain. For a man, it's a no-win scenario.
It's a no-win scenario. Listen, if first of all, let's not move the goalposts, right? If you were telling me something for a year and a half, or something like that, and it was really that important and I ignored it, that's a different scenario than if you were missing something and you didn't talk to me. And so you didn't get it from me, but you didn't give me the opportunity to correct it. And you went out and busted for a real one. And I'm saying, and then you come back to me and say, well, don't you want to know why I did it? No, I don't. Because you didn't give me the opportunity to correct it. You went out and had your fun. Now you want me to come. And all those roads, when you give me your, wait a minute, let me just say this. And everything you say is going to point back to what I didn't do.
Well, if you don't want to hear anything, that means you married a hoe.
Right, and that's my fault. And that's my fault.
And it's my fault.
And it's my fault. And it's my fault.
I got 2 valid points. I got 2 valid points.
Is, if you don't want to hear nothing, then that means this woman.
After the fact, though, you keep missing after the fact.
Lord.
Why don't you tell me before the fact?
I get it, but a lot of times men are
Precious.
not attention to those things.
No.
I got 2 valid points. Hold on.
A woman can say things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and you miss it. Y'all do that. Don't do it.
I got 2.
I
got 2 valid points. I got 2 valid points.
Go ahead.
I got 2 valid points. I got 2 valid points. Point number 1. Yeah, and it's relevant to what you just said, Precious. I got 2 valid points. One is yeah, I'm gonna say it. It's gonna sting though. The guy that's doing everything right, checking off most of the boxes.
Most of the boxes, Lamont. Most.
Yeah, I just said that. Most of the boxes, right? This is how complicated women are. They won't stay for the guy who checks multiple boxes, but they'll stay for the guy who don't check most of the boxes. They will sit there and complain about he's sleeping on the couch and blah, blah, blah. He playing video games and this, that, third, yet she ain't going nowhere. She ain't leave. They will stay with the guy that ain't shit, but would leave the guy who's the shit.
Yeah, do you know why?
No, hold on. I'm waiting for President to answer this one. What?
We talked about them already, Lamont. They're fish going down the stream. Dead fish going down the stream. We talked about them. Dead fish going down the stream.
The point I'm making is very, very simple. The 80-20 rule. You're only going to get 80% of your relationship. If you get 80% of your relationship, stay. It's worth fighting for. I commend and I salute any marriage that celebrates their 25-year anniversary, 30th anniversary, etc., whether they still have that spark or not. I respect the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. Okay? Magic came home with that tombstone. Cookie ain't go nowhere. In order for you to find somebody that top tier, come on. And they still together. He cheated on her and brought back that and she ain't going nowhere. That's what's up. And they still together to this day, whether they're celebrating their 35-year anniversary, this, that, and the third. Now, back to your video is the chick talking about she ain't leaving the house. That means she know Brian can't provide whatever it is that her husband is providing. She know in the back of her mind that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I shouldn't have to spell it out. The point I'm making is very, very simple. On your last show, right? I said that the guy interviewed 10 women, right? And he asked the question, what do men prefer? Fake bodies or real bodies, right? All 10 women said men prefer fake bodies. Then the same guy asked 10 dudes the same question. Men, do you prefer fake bodies or real bodies? And all 10 men said we prefer real bodies. The point that I'm making is women are not paying attention to guys. Y'all don't fucking listen to us. Listen. That's always been your problem. They say women communicate better than men. No, the fuck y'all don't. Men are more straightforward. Y'all, when we talk to y'all, this is what y'all say. Oh, since I didn't say it the way you wanted me to say it, no, it ain't that I want you to say it the way I want you to say it. We want you to keep it gutter with us. Keep it gutter. Say what it is. I don't want to be. Don't walk on eggshells to talk to me and don't pacify me. Keep it a buck. Sis, what is it? You know what I'm saying? If you still feel as though that you want to dip out and start, leave. Then leave. Stop trying to find a way to blame the men. Oh, well, then you married a hoe. The nigga ain't know she was a hoe when he proposed. Cause y'all keep switching up.
You supposed to know, just like you supposed
No,
to
but
know
here's the
she
thing.
like.
Here's the thing, Rick. Here's the thing, Rick. I got 10 homies right now that's 10 toes down. They never change. Let me tell you something about me and how I roll. If I got a dude, he my man, like straight up and down. But at the same time, this dude don't got no problem cheating on his wife. He'll cheat on his wife at the drop of a dime. I'm gonna look at our friendship a little bit differently. This guy might throw me under the bus. Not only does he not have a problem with cheating on his girl,
Have a good night, bro.
he really ain't there for his kids. What does that say about his character? What does it say about his character?
You ain't good people.
Wow, I wish you was on the panel last night with the King Talk, because they weren't acknowledging if the man cheated on his girl. That's not their business. That's what they said. That's not their business.
No,
but
it's not
way,
your business. It's not your business. It's not. That's
right.
that's the honest God true fact.
So,
but that's not to disregard the conversations we have before that man gonna do it. That all right, Lamont, peace, bro. That man gonna do what he gonna do regardless. But if I was his man and I know his girl is decent and they ain't relate, hey man, you fucking up, bro. Right? That's holding him accountable. It's not after whatever, right? What I consider holding him accountable, right? Because the way I look at relationships, I bring value to people. You can come for me to stuff. I'm gonna be there in your corner. I'm the guy you can call at 3 a.m. We hide the bodies together, right? The only accountability I can have is to move away from that man, right? Because his character doesn't align with mine, right? Nobody's cheerleading. Oh man, such woo woo da 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 da. That's teenage shit. That's kid shit. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I work with a guy. A couple of guys. So one guy, we were friends. We worked a long time ago. He was out in Cali, and he was getting ready. He wanted to cheat on his wife. Man, I told him, I said, man, don't you do it. I met his wife. I was over his house for dinner. She was a nice lady, kids and all. I said, man, look at all the shit you got going on. I said, are you kidding me? And first of all, I know you. I said, you can't serve two mistresses. You be the kind of dude that's probably going to want to admit it to her one day and think she's going to forgive you. Just stay your ass and don't do it. Don't even do it. Don't break that seal. If you got that seal there, don't break it, because you never could come back.
Yeah.
And so I told a couple of guys that. I talk him down, but it would change if I knew he was cheating like that and he told me about it. I would look at him differently.
Yeah. And it was already stated again. I talk to my wife every day. Every day. I see everything within the space that we share together. I see it. And if I'm having a conversation,
come on, asshole.
And I'm asking you.
Sorry.
Precious. I'm asking you, are we good? That's the thing. The conversation has to. You prepping me like we good every day. Every day you sitting around, but then you're deceiving me, because once I'm out of your presence, you're going right to that bullshit. So why haven't you told me when I'm asking you what's wrong? It's my 5th day. You don't walk around here 5 days with a sad face. What's wrong? Then the weekend come. Your girlfriend, hey, precious girl, we still going to the club. She's in on your scheme too. Now all of a sudden you're feeling good because you know you're going to hook up with your side piece and 2 pieces and a biscuit. And now you want to talk once it's exposed? No. At that point, I'm telling you, I don't, again, I only speak for myself when it comes to this. I don't listen to other people when it comes to relationships, because I had 6 women I grew up with. I learned firsthand from my mama, and she's been about 95% true. The other parts, it was on me. I ignored those red flags because I wanted to. And then when I got tired of it, I moved on. If I believed I was going to cheat, and sometime in my, I thought I was looking good. When I got to a point where I know I was going to get this continuously disrespect, I just left it alone. I just left everybody alone. I didn't buy. I ain't committed to you. I ain't living, and I wasn't gonna move in with no woman. None of that. But I think today, if we have the conversation and we say, okay, we moving forward, and we get into this, our goal is to build. And if you're not trying to build, you taking one of the most precious things I value in you, like, shit, my baby got that hoo-wop, and you giving it away while I'm out here coming home, back hurt, knees hurt, feet hurt. What is there to talk about at that point on your end? Because you value him over me. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's always been hard. I never, if I believed a woman was cheating, then like I mentioned this other week, I thought my wife was cheating on me with Tupac in my dream. I got up like, what the fuck going on?
That's so wild.
So, but again, you know what I'm saying? So I knew I couldn't handle it. I know.
I know, right? How these women supposed to handle y'all cheating? It's just crazy how men can get up here and be like, I can't handle it.
I'm not saying it's okay for men to cheat.
It's not. It's just. I get it. I get it. Don't think that I'm one of these naive women. I get it. But y'all see how y'all broke down, busted, and disgusted over being cheated on?
You know
but
why?
y'all will do it. Y'all will
hold on. But the press where you going?
It.
But women, listen, women still have the same. Women still have the same options we do. I mean,
not the same.
They can stay or leave, right?
It's not the same.
I understand, but it's not the same. You're right. It's not the same. But yeah. I think this is, you know, definitely a conversation that shows the double standard in men and women, and it's there.
They exist. So what? They exist. So what?
Right. Whoa. What you mean? I already know. Look, I get it. It's a double standard. It is what it is, right? But what hurts you the most and what hurts a woman the most, obviously, are two different things. And y'all being cheated on hurts y'all. That hurts.
Precious, okay? I know all your precious spots and everything.
Don't say, oh, well, how could you be hurt by that? Or that's not my fault. Or we don't have to have this conversation. Or da-da-da-da. But when the shoe was on the other foot, y'all got all these emotions and y'all feel some type of way.
It's not even, for me, it's not even emotional. It's a logical standpoint. It has nothing to do with emotion.
But it will hurt your feelings, Uncle Rick.
Hey,
I got feelings too.
Feelings get hurt all the time. That's not what I'm saying,
feelings,
sis.
Whatever you want to call it, it's going to hurt you.
Hey, sis. Let me give you a gem, right? Your feelings are yours. Your feelings are yours.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel good or bad about it. It's not what people do; it's how you react to it, right? What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is, again, if we're gonna be adults and we're gonna be real about it, right? The truth is, right, and this is why, and I'm trying to remember if you was on Lapeef when we had this conversations about dudes saying, I like it when men attracted to my girl, Like, no, I don't. Keep that shit to yourself. I'll hit you in your mouth, right? But, and again, this does not reflect the opinions of Precious. This is her panel, right? In my opinion, right, most women get a kick when other women like their man.
Yes.
Most, not all. I've had conversations with many a woman, right, who says they like, and I ain't gonna say like to the point that they want to throw a birthday party, you know what I'm saying? But they enjoy the rush of knowing that when other women are attracted to their man. That's why I keep saying the dynamics are just totally different. And we've been conditioned, especially on the feminine side of it, that they're the same, and they're not. It takes different things for me to get access to you than the things you have to do to get access to me. That's just the way the world works. It's the simple reason why we're able to dictate and have these conversations on panels like yours, that we see society being degraded in such a tough fashion because the job of earning people no longer exists. You don't have to earn a woman anymore. You don't have to earn her. She's free. She's for the streets.
Another fucking genius.
So I'd like to just say one thing, though, that when we say there's a double standard, that has a connotation that we're starting from the same point. We're not. the relationship between men and women and what we're talking about, it's a different standard. We have a different standard. And so, you know what I'm saying? We're not equal for it to be a double one where what's good for me is good for you. It's just not, that's not the right term. It's a different standard, you know? And so, and once we understand that, then we can have a better communication because we can keep right and wrong out of that because if it's wrong, it's wrong. Cheating is wrong for a man and a woman. But the standards by which it's just different because what a woman would accept, you can't project on what a man should accept and vice versa. You know, that's the way it is. And it works just like that. We try to fight it, but that's how it works. You know? And I'll land it there.
Good evening, Lapeef and Viz the
What's
Poet.
going on, JR? What's happening, Viz?
Thanks for joining the panel.
Many blessings.
Right.
We've only got into one video.
We've been beating this one, man. We punched it. It's got a whole zone in it, boy. Go ahead, Precious. This is your call.
All right. So we're gonna I mean, if they don't have anything to say about what we've already been talking about, we're gonna move on to the next video. Now, this one, definitely listen closely. And then we'll talk about what you guys are hearing after we listen to this.
Don't want to open the relationship, and yet you don't want to commit to me, and that makes me anxious.
Because I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to move towards a new way of thinking about partnership with you.
What does your new version of the partnership look like? You keep talking about transcending to something else. What is it?
It's fluid.
Okay, fluid to me means open.
That is not what...
But Chrissy, what does fluid mean to you?
Fluid means that you accept risk, that you are okay with a love that could hurt you. It's real.
I know, but that the risk is after the commitment. Without the commitment, there's
You're talking about relationships like they're a math formula.
So what do you guys hear when you hear that? And let me know if I need to play it again, because you know you need really.
No, you don't gotta play it again.
3 times.
I hear some bullshit. That's what I hear. When you hear it's fluid, depending on how the fuck she feel at that time. If she want to fuck somebody, she can go fuck them. If you my man and you can't fuck nobody this time, you can't do it. If I, bitch, bitch. If it's something that you know, and look, if it's something that you know how it is, then you would be able to express it now, wouldn't you? Fluid, according to how I feel at the time. Kick that. He shouldn't even continue to have that conversation with that hoe. Get that bitch the fuck up out of here, bro. I'd have got up and walked. Look, yeah, stop wasting money on therapy, bro. That shit don't work, bro. Therapy is a fucking waste of money, especially if you got a female therapist, bro. Get the fuck up and walk out to let a woman talk to you about how she want to dictate a relationship when it's all your fault. If he went with that shit and the shit went bad, she'd be like, well, you agreed to it. You supposed to be the man. You knew this was me from the start, looking ass. We are not equal in this thing. There is no such thing as an equal partnership when it comes to a man. It does not exist. Stop living in that fantasy. If you're with a man that is worth his salt, he is always gonna give more. Every man knows this. This is y'all privilege talking. Kick that bitch to the curb. Fuck out of here. Taking the risk. Exactly what she said, right. He taking all the risk. She don't want no skin in the game except how she feel at that moment. I want access to you how I want it.
Now they're married. That couple is married too.
He needs to divorce that bitch as fast as he can sign a paper. If he can go on LegalZoom.com and print out a divorce decree, he need to do that shit. That bitch don't need to be with nobody but herself.
She already has plans of stepping out. She's already planning.
She's already done it. She's already done it. To be talking 100%. Like that, she's already done it.
Well, so a little backstory on that. That's actually
Trash
one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite TV shows. It's called Couples Therapy. I agree with just about everything Rick said, but I would give a little pushback. I think that therapy is. I think therapy does help for a person that is actually seeking to become a better version of themselves. But a little more context of her, that woman is going through a midlife crisis, and she's literally dragging that man along to crash and burn with her. She did openly admit to cheating on him and sleeping with another guy, and damn near blamed him for it. But it's
wait,
I think
I missed that.
She really but the thing that she used to her advantage is, of course, one, her being a woman, two, her being his wife. But they both were in the church, and they're both Mormons, and she felt whatever type of way that the Mormon church was doing a disservice to her and women. So she, woke up and wanted to stray away from the church and blamed him for still wanting to be in the church and all of this other shit. It was just really just a bunch of the blame game. But it is, in that case, she was truly just trying to take control of the relationship, and dude was trying to figure out how to make it work to still be with her, have his cake and eat it too, but make it so that she can accept it. But she didn't want to accept that. So in that case, that's one of those cases where you have to divorce this woman, because she's literally going to destroy you if you stay in that position, because she doesn't even know what she wants.
Was this a hypothetical, or is this an extended version of the video?
No, this is actual context of their story.
That video. This isn't a different situation, right?
No, this is that actual couple in their scenario.
Damn, see, that was.
It's a TV series about that, so it's more than one episode that he understands the whole story behind this particular video.
Yeah, it's called Couples Therapy. Yeah. It's on Showtime or Cinemax. I would highly suggest it, without a doubt. It's a really, really good show, especially if you're into understanding people, human behavior, psychology, shit like that. It's definitely an I wouldn't say an eye opener, but definitely something that can help you understand people better and how they deal with shit.
Would it discourage someone for even getting involved? Like, because I like to be, I don't know how to put this. I'm not used to meeting and dating people with that type of openness. I'm a little more traditional and old school. When I'm dating someone, they're clearly a part to play on both sides. And yes, some women expect more and some men expect to do less. But for the most part, the women I try to talk to, we're on the same page. And if it doesn't work out or it takes its natural course, it ends. But I'm noticing a lot of people, especially the younger generation, are open to anything. And they're like, I don't know, turns me off when I see this type of stuff, or it discourages me to even get involved with someone younger because of their mindset. So that's what I'm kind of asking. Am I in the minority now? Whereas when I was growing up, majority of people were dating, looking for things that I'm looking for, the way I'm looking for it to be.
Yeah. No,
you understand what I'm saying?
Therapy, like, is that the anything you're talking about? Open to anything such as therapy?
Or are you talking about?
No, not open to therapy. Just everything's allowed now. Like, you see what this girl's saying? Like, there's certain things that are boundaries shouldn't even be discussed. You should already know them.
But that's the thing. People
You
don't
have to
know.
discuss them, bro.
Right.
You have
That's why if I gotta watch this and get an idea on how people think right now, is that gonna discourage me from
it should help
even
you.
trying to date?
No, it
You
should
No.
know?
help.
Yeah.
It should help you. It should
Yeah.
help you.
It
I
shouldn't.
would think that I would think that it'll be evident just in the conversation.
Right.
Just so I was, and I know we're not gonna get political. I don't know if this is a political show, but
It's everything.
she 100% was a Kamala Biden, you know, LGBT, the whole, you know, she's definitely one of those type of women. But in most cases, I would say that she's an extremist. Just having just a common conversation with a person, you can typically tell if they're an extremist or not. But she for sure is one of those people that are an extremist. One of her reasons for leaving the church, the Mormon church, was because she felt that she couldn't understand why women weren't allowed to be leaders in the church. You know, of course, that can be confrontation. That's his own talking piece, depending on how you perceive and read the Bible, or look at leadership or whatever. But just the fact that she went to the extreme that she did, she's an extremist, and typically you could tell, especially nowadays, you can typically tell if a person is an extremist right off bat.
But in the context,
married her in the first place.
right? But in the context of their marriage, you know, the church plays a part. But how does them determining whether or not a woman is capable of being a leader play a part in our marriage? And you're saying that our relationship should be fluid, our marriage should be fluid, and you're going to accept some pain and some misery. To me, it doesn't add up, because what is it that you wanting to do? Just give me that. Don't give me all this flowers. Tell me what the hell you trying to do, since you trying to be fluid. To be fluid, I don't know. Maybe I have to ask more questions. It'd be, you done ran up on some motherfucker. Now you trying to go on these private trips with somebody. I don't understand.
Just from how she worded it and things of that nature, I don't think she meant fluid as in let's have an open relationship, because that's where he went to, right? Like, let's have an open relationship. I think when she meant fluid, I believe she meant your emotions are gonna, like, this is a ride. This is a ride of emotions, right? So don't just stop your emotions at this point, and at this point be fluid with your that's what I think she's saying in this. I don't think she's saying let's be fluid and you know
But no,
be
but
like,
no, that's not what she was saying, because that's why he was pushing for the marriage to be open. It essentially, she went from being structured in church and religion to now I don't want to have a structure. So if I see a person and I'm vibing with them, I might fuck them. But if I don't want you to be out fucking somebody else, or I don't want to give you the I don't want to give you the thumbs up to go and do your
Right, to
own
go
thing.
ahead,
You know,
exactly.
I still want to be able to figure out how it is that I feel in this moment and just go with the flow. And I expect for you to go with the flow of that.
okay. And so that's when he was saying you'll get that after a commitment, but if you're not trying to be fully committed, then I can't do that, which makes sense.
Yeah, because she doesn't know what she wants.
Okay.
Well, the first red flag is she's a Kamala supporter. I would never date a Kamala supporter. Sorry.
Oh my God, you sound like that. You sound like them.
I can't do it because they're illogical, irrational, emotional people, and emotions change. Emotions don't last; they flee. So she'll feel one way for 2 days, and then 2 days she'll feel another way. It's no satisfying someone like that, you know. But that was just my input. Sorry about that.
No, that's cool. Well,
Felt like throwing that in there.
I mean, just the funny part of my mind. As soon as she says, you know, I want my thing to be fluid, my mind went to the wrong place.
What'd you think?
So what you talking
I wonder
about?
if I thought the same thing as you.
I said, whose fluid you talking about? You know, so all I'm just trying to say is, if your woman, that's right. That's what I'm saying. Forgive me for being in a dark place. All I'm just trying to say is this: if your woman is talking to you like that, one, you got to reassess everything you know about her. If he's already married to her, like for example, my wife could never come to me, even back in the days when we were really going at it crazy, and say, "Listen, I want to kind of have an open marriage." She's already told you that you're no longer her choice, right? Just by bringing it to you, just by bringing it up. So this whole thing about being fluid and you have to take some hurt and pain, even though he hears exactly what she's saying, but she won't say it because that's the commitment part. So I just say, listen, it was that the show on HBO?
Yeah.
At one point?
Showtime.
Couples therapy.
Yeah. So I saw some of them different things. I didn't see that particular one, but he's in a conundrum. I don't see how they can stay together. I would tell him, listen, we need to separate, but I don't know how many kids they have. I don't know what they're doing there. Because to me, those would be the only considerations why I'd stay. And it wouldn't be with her, right? So we would have to separate or we have to get a divorce eventually. But I couldn't, you can't. I just think there's nothing to build on a fluid situation. That means your foundation is liquid. You don't have no foundation.
Like the way you put that. Very impressive. I don't know. I'd rather hang out with a corpse in a funeral home than date that girl. Fuck that. That's a problem. That's not something you should discuss in a relationship. I don't know. For me, that's just weird. That's something. If I was to see that, he had to see signs of that. You know what I'm saying? That he just ignored. That doesn't just happen. Anyone doesn't just shift their whole view like that. At least in my experience, there's always something. Like the same guy that found out his girl was cheating, he noticed it, right? 8 months, he noticed something was off.
Yeah.
So he had to try to, I don't know. It's just me. I limit who I would date to like a fraction of a percentage of people available at this point.
But I don't believe that she doesn't know what she wants. I believe she knows exactly what she wants.
She knows she wants to get away with it. She wants to do it and not feel guilty and get in trouble for doing it. That's what he was saying.
She wants to be right. She wants to be able to do what she wants to do, how she wants to do it, but still count on him for his support emotionally, financially, with resources. That is not how. That is not how this game works.
Not at all.
Agreed. This is not a relationship. That's not mutual. It's that. Yo, man, people are fucking weird nowadays. I can't even believe they're fucking trying to talk that way and justify those as normal. I really can't. I can't understand it. There's matters of the heart in play. Like how I don't know.
I want to say they had got married at like 19, super early. They've been together for some years. I don't think they had any kids together. And it was literally just, one day she woke up and was like, I'm getting out of the church. And he was still going to church. And she was like, she was throwing it in his face. Like, why are you still going to church? You know how it hurt me. Woo, woo, woo. So that was conflict. I want to say she even
manipulation tactic number one.
Oh yeah, no, she was manipulating the fuck out of him. So she I want to say she had met a guy and he told her like, whatever you do, don't fuck this guy. And of course she went off and fucked him, and that destroyed him. I want to say they also got separate places that was close by to each other because she wanted her own space. She never had her own space. So this guy was literally belittling himself, for sure.
He was Destiny. He was Destiny. That's what he was. He was Destiny off YouTube.
Yeah, he was just doing whatever he could to try to make it work, but she didn't want to give him the thumbs up of saying
for him to
this
do the
is
same
just
thing
an
she
open
was doing.
relationship.
Right.
Exactly.
And again, like I said, right? They want to extract your resources, like I said earlier, right? If you was a real woman about your shit, you get your shit and go out there and see what it's really like out there in the world. Right? That's what I'm saying. Y'all got the game fucked up, bro. The game don't work like this. The game you don't have access to me if I don't have exclusivity to you.
Facts.
You don't have access to my resources, financial, emotional, or otherwise, if I don't get exclusivity. It's just that simple.
And women can't understand that for some reason. They still don't get that.
I mean, to keep it a buck, Rick. I mean, the game different now, bro.
The game never changed, bro. Only the players, my guy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no,
the players
I
fucking
agree.
the game up.
No, I agree with you 100%. I'm all the way with you on that. But you know what I'm saying? Just the way that it is now, and the way that people are conforming to it.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly the people, right? The people.
But is it a generational thing? Are there middle-aged people my age that are actually playing the game the way the 22-year-olds are playing it?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the fucking problem.
Old. They're at least in their 30s.
Yes.
They're in their 30s, 40s.
Those two are in their 30s?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to look at it again. Yeah, they're up there.
Shit, I thought they was in their 40s the way they look.
Yeah, they might even.
Well, I couldn't tell it was a small box because I'm on an iPhone. They looked like really young to me. It was also like black and white. I couldn't really tell. And the way they were talking, they spoke like they were young.
You don't want to open the relationship, and yet you don't want to commit to me, and that makes me anxious.
Trying to be honest. I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to move towards a new way of thinking about partnership with you.
What does your new version of the partnership look like?
She's
you keep talking about transcending to something else. What is it?
It's fluid.
Okay, fluid to me means open.
That is not what.
But Chrissy, what does fluid mean to you?
Fluid means that
What's
you
up, kid?
accept risk, that you are okay with a love that could hurt you. It's real.
I know, but that the risk is after the commitment. Without the commitment, there's
You're talking about relationships like they're a math formula.
Kick that bitch to the curb.
Not to mention, she looks like she's been doing drugs for 15 years.
Look, bro, I don't care if she
Look
looked like Angelina Jolie in her heyday, bro. Kick that bitch to the curb, bro.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But I mean, if she looked like Angelina Jolie, I may put up with it for a little longer.
No, I wouldn't. Man, don't ever compromise yourself for no woman, bro.
I'm fucking around.
What I'm saying is this, bro. Like this is what's wrong with society today, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Women, y'all got too many options, bro. Y'all need to be shackled up.
Yep.
Y'all need to be locked up for real. Y'all need to be locked up. For real, right? I'm talking chastity belts and fucking what they call them shit. Y'all know the shit Hannibal Lecter had on.
You know what it is, Rick? They're being exposed to having poor judgment.
Look, this the problem, bro. This the problem. This the real problem that nobody wants to talk about, right? We give women the grace that we should give ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? When are we as men, right, are gonna be honest that most women are not emotionally stable or even smart enough to make these type of decisions? This is the fucking truth. I don't care how educated she is, because once her emotion gets involved, I don't care how many law books she done read. You're not in mass. This is why when a man find a wife or somebody exceptional, when they're talking to a woman with an open mind that's able to think critically. motherfuckers be sitting there with their mouth open. We look at women like that, like they a fucking unicorn, like we seen some shit out of goddamn Lord of the Rings movie. Y'all know I'm not lying. Listen to the shit they say, and better yet, watch the shit they do.
Yeah, I hear
They're
you
not
on
capable of it.
But in moments, like women are, in my experience, they're very emotional, yes. But if you know how to handle them, not handle them, but deal with them and let that emotion pass, for the most part, there's a lot of good women out there. Most of them are already taken, unfortunately. But we're never going to find a woman that's perfect and handles their emotions the way we do. It's impossible. It don't exist. I think it has it's just to do with chromosomes or something.
No one is asking. Look, man, I've been
No, I
working
know what
on.
you're saying.
Okay, so this again. Listen to what I'm saying. This is what you do. You just did. You give them the grace you should give yourself.
No. What you're saying is give yourself the grace. I'm saying I'm giving them a little bit of understanding.
Listen, bro. Listen. This is what
I need some understanding, Rick. Right? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, bro, this is how natural it is, right? Even with all the information we have and all the horror, and again, all the scenarios that can play out. And again, I'm not talking about in general, I'm talking about in reference to what we're watching right now with that video, right? You're still willing to give that woman grace. She doesn't deserve any grace. She deserves to be divorced and out in the world by herself.
I wasn't willing to give her grace. I'm talking about video. You're right.
Stop, please, Joe. Please stop.
You just said I was willing to give that woman grace. You said I was.
Grace, bro, not her grace. Listen to what I'm saying, right? I'm saying in reference to the situation that we just saw, right? It's your natural inclination just to continue to give women grace. I know what you're saying ad nauseum, right, as a whole. But again, they don't deserve this grace we give them. That's what I'm saying. They don't deserve the grace we give them. The ones, and I said this all the time. What's up, Lil PJ? How you doing, bro? I said this on Lil P, right? What men have to do is learn to change their attractions, right? You have to learn to change your attractions to what type of women you're attracted to, right? Because no matter what men say or do, we still running this bullshit line about how we hate these women, but we still fuck. I ain't gonna say me because I'm off the market 24 years. Shout out to me, right? But y'all still fuck with these little crackhead ass bitches, right? These hood rat hoes, these fake booty bitches and shit who got game because they cute in the face and all this shit. That shit gotta stop, bro. Y'all say y'all want a good girl, but don't get a good girl's no attention. Right? So, like I said, man, whatever, bro. I just be talking, man. I apologize, baby.
No apology. I'm just trying to, the way you're phrasing it is you're making it seem like I'm only going for looks. I'm not looking for good girls, which would imply that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
it's the way you phrased it.
Right.
In generality, most men,
exactly,
right.
At large.
You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's the problem.
Yeah, somebody brought up, Joe, somebody brought up the scenario. I forgot it was Lamont about the 10 ladies who said that, they wanted a BBL, and then they asked them.
I was just going to say that. Yes,
but
please.
The 10 men said they liked them natural. Just like we say women conflate sexual attention to, relationship attention, they conflate that shit all the time, right? Because they think that just because somebody's attracted to them, they don't just want to bust them out, and they say, well, look at all these people who are excited about me, but most of the guys just want to use you.
They just want to
smash. The men have something equivalent, right? Because the men on these panels everywhere talk about how they want natural women. But the only women that get 1 million likes are the ones with the big titties out and the asses, and all women like attention. So the ones who are natural, they're saying, well, shit, man, even though I might want a good guy, I'm not getting the attention I crave, right? They still crave attention. maybe at different levels, but they're seeing all these guys saying they want natural women, but we got the women with the weaves, the shit encrusted fingernails, and the eyelashes, and the fake, you know, they look like transvestites, but they all look the same. But men
It's
are,
Halloween every day. I agree. They
you
look
know,
horrible.
so we put out mixed signals as well as men. We just do, right? You know, we do. So there you go. That's the you know, that's the dilemma that we're all in. You know, and where's that going to end up? You know, it's just part of where we are today.
In
Social
general,
media
yeah.
has a lot to do with it.
Of course it does. And that's a problem. And women constantly, it's crazy how many of them look alike right now. But they're not doing things for men. They're doing things to compete with each other. They're doing things to portray the
For the
perfect
attention
physical
of
woman.
men, though. They doing it to compete with each other, but it's
I
all
think
for
it's
the
just attention in general. You know, I
well,
think it's what's the word I'm looking for? Envy from women and attention from men. That's what they look for. I know there's this one girl that I'm friends with, right? And we talk, but she's young, so her mentality's all crazy. She's gorgeous, Egyptian looking, gorgeous, beautiful eyes, beautiful natural lips, beautiful body. Finds something wrong with herself at all times. And I'm the one who's telling her, you're gorgeous. Don't change nothing. There's nothing you need to change, right? It goes in one ear and out the other when I say it. You know what I'm saying? But when it's she's comparing herself to everyone else, and it's all about the attention, the likes. How many guys we know all the time? How many times you see a pretty girl walking in the street, especially when we were younger, it was a little easier. You would not catcall, but approach her, talk to her, try to pick her up, right? Just because she's beautiful. And they like that just because it's straight up attention. I don't even know if this girl's worth dating, but it's someone I'm going to approach. That's all they really want. And to touch back to what you said, Precious, that might be the one thing that guy was missing. Out of all the boxes he checked, it might have been the one thing he didn't check. Giving her the attention she wants when she wants it. You know? And that's a problem. But I also am trying to be optimistic when it comes to dating. And I don't want to label everyone as the same, even though it's really close to it. But there's got to be one or two good ones out there that I'm going to come across that's someone worth dating at some point. There has to be. And the ones that are fake, that are all photoshopped, fake tits, fake ass, fake lips, I don't like none of their shit. I don't even want to follow their shit, to be honest, because I don't want to be that guy that gives them that attention. But you know how hard it is to find a natural one who's classy and respects herself and has, you know, she could hold a conversation and be what really most of us are actually looking for. Very rare, extremely rare, when they used to exist constantly. So I don't know what happened. I think Rick mentioned it. They have too many options right now. They have way too much attention. And the regular guys like us, who are still the hard work, I'm about to go to work right now and do the overnight 30-degree weather. The regular guys always get screwed. And I'm not sitting here saying I'm a victim because I don't even really date no more. I don't waste my time. I let God bring it to me. He knows who's supposed to be with me. And when that comes, I'll be okay with it. I don't seek the ratchet ones no more. I don't seek the ones that, all right, maybe they won't hurt me because they're beneath me in a way, you know? Or maybe I know this has a expiration date. Those are the ones I'll seek out, right? Now I just play it, I'm living life on life's terms with that. But it gets very discouraging after a while. It's like, where are the good ones?
Well,
Where are they?
Joe, I
How's
think
God gonna
that.
bring you? Go ahead. Biz.
Go ahead, JR.
I was about to ask him, like, how's God gonna bring you somebody? Like, has that?
God, the way I look at it is, if I continue to do me and not seek a woman relationship, anything, as I continue to do me and grow, and as this gentleman said, seek therapy. And I don't see a therapist, but I do work on myself and try different things. Maybe he'll present someone to me that I'm not used to dating or not used to talking or insecure or discouraged to even approach. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I have to take the action and, all right, let's see if we hit it off. And there's no pickup lines. It just happens naturally. You know, I'm a big believer in God will put in front of me what he thinks I'm ready for when I'm ready for it.
Well,
You know,
Joe,
I can't keep
I think
controlling everything.
Joe,
Yeah, yeah.
just from hearing your dialogue, I think that your biggest issue may be the fact that you think that that woman that you're looking for is rare. It's kind of, I forgot what the theory is called, but if I was to tell you to look, if I was to show you a picture of a bunch of different color cars, right? And I said, all right, focus on all of the red cars. And I want you to tell me how many red cars there are. And then once I take the picture away and you say, okay, there was 9 red cars. And I say, okay, well, how many yellow cars were there? You have no clue because you was only solely focused on the red cars.
Yeah, I
So
seen that. I know what you're talking about. I seen that online. But here's the thing: when it comes to matters of the heart, let's say, or it comes to making a commitment, looking for a relationship that's long term. I'm not looking for something that's short term or a fling. Those days are over. So when it comes, I have to be focused on looking at exactly what I want. You know what I'm saying? I have to. I can't let certain things go. And if I'm not paying attention to the yellow cards, it's because the yellow cards aren't in my purview. The yellow cards aren't what I'm interested in. That's why I'm not looking at them. So if you could show me 10 women, right? And 7 of them look amazing, but they all look alike. They have the fake lips and all that shit. This one dresses too revealing. This one curses too much. No matter how they look, I'm not paying attention to that one. I see it and I get turned off, and I go to the other ones.
I would
That's
then say, I would then question where are you finding this pool of women at
no,
that
I'm
they
not.
all
I'm
look the
not
same?
finding anybody, to be honest. My life is I work, I go to the gym, I help people in recovery, and that's my life. That's what I do. Unfortunately, the only women I come across are on social media, so that's the problem.
Right.
You know what I'm
So
saying? Yeah.
you're gonna have to get out a little bit more. You're gonna
I
have
know, but right now I'm focused on me, right? I'm not really trying to date. I know I speak about it like it's something I want. I'm really not. If it
No,
comes to me, if
it
it
is something
okay,
you
so then
want,
what is
Joe.
no,
okay, so
it's
then
not.
you
It's
think
not something that's urgent and has to happen now. I'm okay waiting because I
Right,
still a lot I want to accomplish. Still a lot of things I
but
want to
it
do.
is something that you want though. So
It's
again,
something I want eventually, yes, but it's
so
not something
so
I want today.
so again, and JR, I'm gonna let you chime in, but again, your dialogue, the fact that you're saying that you want, I want it, but I don't want it right now, is going to prolong you finding that woman. I'm a firm believer in speaking things into being.
Oh, I am too.
So if all of the things that you're acknowledging, the type of woman you don't want, you not want it right now, you're not ready now, or whatever the case may be, you're now prolonging the opportunity for God or whoever it is that you believe in to deliver that person to you. Once you step away from that dialogue and that thought process, I think that things will change for you.
I agree. I think you're right. It's like law of attraction, right? What you put out, you get back.
Absolutely.
And right. So I think I'm telling myself the negative aspects of
You're
dating and the
you're
dating pool.
convincing yourself that
Right.
I will never find the woman that I want because all these wenches got big lips, fake hair, the BBLs, they dumb as hell. You're convincing yourself of every reason why you can't find the woman that you want, much rather than why it is that you can find that person.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. What you put out, you get back. And I think it's because realistically, I'm not that I'm not ready, but emotionally or I'm not mature enough. I want more for me before I start dating someone. You know what I'm saying? I don't want someone to make me happy. I want to be completely happy before I start dating someone. And I want to date someone who's already happy. Shouldn't be any codependency. And I know maybe I'm grasping at straws here, but there really shouldn't be. Someone shouldn't have to rely on me to make them happy and vice versa. So there's a lot more I want to achieve in my life. There's a lot of things I want to get done to where I could put her first rather than put these other things first. You know, and I just haven't met anyone that I'm willing to sacrifice certain things for to spend time with her. I just haven't. You know, so I'm trying not to get derailed where I have in the past. You meet a girl and you just get caught up quick, and now you're putting everything else on the back burner to make a relationship work that I shouldn't have been in to begin with. You know, so I guess I'm open to it if it happens. I won't pass up on it, but I'm really, just not looking for it right
Right,
now.
just to put a bow on a conversation, because you said it right there at the end. You're open to it if it comes. The real issue, the real thing is you have to be able to recognize it when it comes in front of you.
Right.
And you got to have your head in the right spot so you can recognize it when it happens. So your words and the way you're saying, because right now you sound like you're not ready for that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, but the truth of the matter is you might not be ready for it in your mind, but you might also miss an opportunity because you're thinking that way. Right?
I get
You see
that.
what I'm saying? We could leave
Yes.
it there, but that's what I'm saying. So
I
just want to
actually
be
tell
open.
people that a lot too. Like you're focused on this, you're missing out on other opportunities, right? And
Yeah,
I
you could.
understand. I understand what you're saying, but I don't know how this is going to come off, but I used to think almost every girl I met was the one, and they weren't. So now I'm a believer in there's so many of them out there. When it's
That's not what.
time,
That's the point I'm making. The
it'll
point
come.
I'm
No,
making
I
is
understand what you're saying. I do. I understand what you're saying. I just don't think there's a shortage. I think it'll come to me when it's supposed to, or maybe I'll open up my eyes a little more when I'm actually ready.
you got it.
You
I
know?
think I think we understand each other.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, because there probably are women I see that if a lot of it has to do with, do I even want to take that risk early on and be vulnerable, knowing the percentages are just going to fail? Do I want to, be sidetracked? Do I want to take a
You
few steps
doing
back and
it
deal with
again,
the,
Joe.
huh?
You doing it again. You're
What?
convincing
No, I'm
yourself.
asking. I'm speculating on
Right,
some
but
of the
that's
things that I could be thinking as
right.
to why I'm
But
not
that
focused on women.
right,
You
but
know?
that's what you're convincing yourself.
Yeah, but you got to look at it. There's a reason why he's convincing himself.
Of course, because it's
Right.
always the same. It's that
Well,
I'm seeing
how you
what's
fighting
out
this?
there. I don't know. It's really difficult, man. It is.
But
It's a difficult time to date and put yourself out there. It really is.
Joe, when you say
Yeah.
you're seeing what's out there, is it what you see from the women that you're not concerned with, or is it the women that you're looking to be with, the type of woman that you want in your life? It's like you're looking at the women that don't even matter and shouldn't even matter to what you
Right.
want.
I know what you're saying.
You
I'm
know what I'm saying?
looking at the ones that I want, the ones that I'm willing to date are taken.
But
They're
you don't know
already.
that, Joe. You don't know
No,
every woman.
I'm going by what the ones I see that I'm like, she's got an engagement ring on. Like I'll see them, I'll talk to them, I'll see what they're about. And all right, they're taken. That's a good girl to be with. Obviously, she's taken. So I'm just saying there's a lot less available in the pool.
But yes and no, Joe. But again, okay, you remember, you said when you were younger, you were by default just trying to put this woman to be in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you experienced something. At some point, you had an eye awakening experience, and now you're looking at it from a totally opposite position than where you were when you were younger, because you say it, right? And now you want the things that you should be able to obtain with the hard work and all of that. Okay, cool. But and listen, I'm not trying to deter you either way, but it's already been said in a sense. Just because you see people behaving in a way that you wouldn't accept, don't put everybody in that category as if it is, because if you're the man that's confident in who you are and you're the man that you love and respect who you are, that woman will reveal herself to you, but you can't be putting on her what you see from other women, because you could miss out based off of some of the fears that you've seen from others and not just had that experience.
So you're saying I'm my default is being pessimistic and I'm labeling them all as undateable. Is that what
Pretty
you're
much.
saying? Okay.
Yeah,
I
pretty much.
agree with that a little bit. It's like the females. It's like the man's version of the woman's version of men ain't shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Basically, I agree with that. I guess I've been displaying that behavior, or at least that thinking. So maybe it's something I should consciously work on. I don't know, but it's definitely something I could see myself doing. I agree with that. It is something I should work on. But maybe should I be more open to dating? Or, I mean, I got to really protect what I have and what I built. And I can't fall off track fucking up because of a girl that I keep seeing red flags.
But Joe, she's gonna acquiesce to how you move if she's for you. You're gonna
They don't
protect
all
who
do
you
that.
are.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't know. I guess it's the women around. I don't know.
You I'm gonna tell you what I tell most women in that case.
You buzz me in, please.
You're picking some shitty ass women, Joe.
100%, but I'm not really picking. This is what's in front of me.
No,
Terrible.
the only way that it's in front of you is if you're picking them.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't.
No, like, okay, what he's saying is that because he only goes to A, B, C, and D, that's the only option that he has. He's gonna have to go out and get out of that.
I gotta try new things, basically. I gotta be
Go to Whole
open-minded.
Foods. Go to Whole Foods, man. You got a Whole Foods. Go to Whole Foods and hang out.
They're in supermarkets. They are.
Every time you go out, you don't have to make the woman a priority or looking for a woman a priority. So you can kind of just get some enjoyment in doing what you're doing and just organically meet people. You don't want to go seeking relationships or seeking a certain particular woman.
Yeah.
If you have a conversations, you'll be kind of surprised as far as like the type of women that, I didn't think I would like her like that, but after having a conversation with her, man, it's kind of mind blowing. Like I never knew a woman can be so open to just listening to me without cutting me off, without saying anything about herself. She just totally listened to me. But you won't find that because you're not getting out. I mean, I'm all for God positioning people, but I still think you got to do a little bit of work and then maybe pray on it. So I met 5 women today. Let me pray on it to see which one is for me. But you're not going to meet somebody different, or you're not going to see anything. It's like almost telling somebody looking for a result, but they don't incorporate a change. Until you do that change, you can't really expect to see anything different. So until you change your like the way that you move, and you don't have to do nothing extravagant. Just find something that you like, that you may like. It could be paintballing, it can be going to ride go-karts, or going to a amusement park. It could be anything that you like that you have yet to explore, just to get in a comfort zone and just meeting people organically.
Yeah, I agree. It's something I need to entertain and implement. And right now, I haven't been able to do that.
Man, Joe, you might be into big girls and not know it, man. You know, you gotta
No, I
change
know
up.
it. I know it. I'm not into big girls. I know
You might be into the sisters, man. You don't know.
I
Man.
do. I dated a couple black girls. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. But it was more younger.
Joe was black.
What?
I thought Joe was black.
No, I'm Sicilian. I'm partially black.
Like I'm talking to one of the brothers.
Don't pay attention to my conversation, bro. Just sit there. Getting all nosy and shit. You too. Are we waiting for the third man? I'm sorry, I got into my work train. Are we waiting? Let me take a piss real quick. Let me go take a piss. I'll be right back.
Oh, you tripping.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna get into final. I muted Joe. So Joe, if you want to chime in, just
I was kind of curious what Joe did. What did he do?
He's a
like train work.
I'm a longshoreman.
What the hell is that? What's that?
All the container ships that you see in the water, all the import and export and stuff, I unload the ships on the docks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On the dock.
It's kind of similar. I used to work at the railroad, man.
It's similar. We work on the rail too. We just,
You get a lot of overtime, right?
It's all overtime. I get all overtime basically.
Yeah, no tax. No tax.
I'm waiting for that. I don't know if that's real because then I'm gonna be rich overnight. But right now they're crippling me 40% in taxes.
If
All
that's
right,
true, that's
all
gonna
right,
be
y'all. Press one getting the final thoughts, man. It's hitting that time.
Yeah, it's getting late. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Let me shut my camera real quick.
All right. Yeah, let's get into final thoughts. This has been a great show. This has been a really good show. Paris came up, gave her thoughts. I appreciate her. Uncle Rick was here. Who else was here? That was it, right? And everybody else stayed. So I appreciate you guys. This was a really good show. We only got into 2 videos, but I think we got into some very, 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 very good conversation. We got some different perspectives. And you know, I learned something from y'all every show. I'm starting to get to know you guys a little bit better.
Oh, really?
I'm starting to get to know you a little bit better every single show. But I like it. I enjoy it. It makes for good conversation. And like I said, these situations are real. That phone call to the radio station, that was real. You know, these counseling sessions on this HBO channel or Showtime, whatever it's on, is real. People are going through real conflict and don't know how to get over the hump, or don't know which way to go, or they truly turn to social media for what, I don't know, but they turn to social media to see, you know, what people are thinking, if there are other ways to fix what they have going on. And so we just bring them over here to have the conversation and to, you know, see where you guys is head at. Although this is a men's panel, women of course are welcome to join. And like I said, it was good to have Paris up here to give her perspective as well. She's very level-headed, very not like a lot of the women that we come across every day on social media. So I'm glad that she was able to join as well. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the chat. I appreciate the cash apps I got. I got a couple of cash apps, so I appreciate you guys. One from Darnell, the other one was from Harrison. So I do appreciate you guys and always supporting the platform. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you guys want to support, you can do so. But we're going to get into our final thoughts. I know Joe is at work, so I'm not quite sure if he can give a final thought, but we'll start with Viz the Poet, go over to JR, Coach Ferg, and then Arpine.
What I'm giving the final thoughts on. I know I missed the majority of the show.
Or I mean, I don't know if you guys, I believe you spoke on what you wanted to speak on when you came in. I know LaPeep was a little bit more quiet, but you could give it on the first video where the guy called it out. Did y'all see that? Where the guy called it? Guys, y'all didn't see that one, so you just saw the second one. The first one, a guy pretty much called a radio station to act as though his wife was being surprised with a romantic trip getaway. And when the man asked, the radio host asked her who she wanted to bring on the trip, it was her side piece, and the husband was on the phone, and it was all revealed right then and there. She was cheating on him. But you can give it on a second video or whatever it is, whatever perspective you like to close us out with. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the videos.
I guess if anything, just kind of going off of the second video, I guess the first video too, 2 books that I would suggest all men to read. I'm assuming there's mostly men in here. One is The Way of the Superior Man, and 2 is The Masculine in Relationships. I think that those 2 books would greatly help men in their journey, if they're in a relationship, looking to be in a relationship, or just how to deal with the opposite sex in general.
Thank you for those suggestions. Say them one more time. I apologize.
No, you're good. The Way of the Superior Man, and The Masculine in Relationships.
I don't press. I'm trying to read them books, trying to get some game now.
No, I want to gift them. I actually want to send each of them to somebody. So maybe I'll do like a contest in my comments on Instagram or something. I just wanted to know the name of the books.
Trying to give all the superpowers, Viz.
But they always say if you don't want people to know anything, put it in the book. So I love to read. I always say the best gift someone can give me is actually a book. I love books. So, so thank you for that,
She
Biz.
telling us. She telling herself right now, Viz. Gonna give it away.
What? No, I appreciate the suggestions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you guys in the chat, if you are watching, I would suggest that you write it down too, because I always say this, I'm always a student. I'm gonna be a student for life. You know, I don't care what position I hold, I don't care what type of leader or whatever is going on in my life. I'm always gonna be a student. Always, always, always. All right, Viz, was that it, or did you have any more final thoughts?
That's it.
All right, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for having me on too.
Of course, you're welcome anytime. We're live on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you're available, just come on over. I dropped the link for whoever wants to join the panel. JR, final thoughts?
So me, final thoughts. A lot of times the signs are already there for a lot of folks, but they just don't know how to identify them. So I believe that we have to improve in vetting and living in the reality of whatever situation we may be in. Because a lot of times we misread things. You have to be able to measure what that person is to you. And one of those things is just either they for you or they not for you. Either they willing to get to know you or they not willing to get to know you. So I think a lot of things are just clear, but if you can just put everything into perspective, I think it'll make dating and relationships easier. To me, in that second video, it appeared there might have been some issues beforehand, and she was just attacking something for that moment, but I seen something that was bigger. And she was just trying to express something for him to change, but I still don't think it was going to fix the relationship. So even if he would have did everything completely the way she wanted to and the way it was presented, that wasn't going to be good enough. And it was almost coming off as though he was begging, and it didn't matter what he said because she's just not happy. And it looked like they was married based off a ring being on his finger. So it's unfortunate, but it's the reality of a lot of people's relationships and marriages. I think a lot of people get married for all the wrong reasons. And a lot of people don't know what marriage really entails. And it's not necessarily their fault. Sometimes it comes with time. Sometimes it comes with the people you surround yourself with. So I think that as a whole, we have to put things into perspective and just live in a reality. Whatever you need, you curious about or you don't know, don't be afraid to ask those questions, because them questions might be the determining factor on whether you waste the next 10 years of your life or whether you wasting your time. So a lot of times we trying to problem solve on our own because the person is not willing to try to repair or fix or either meet in a certain area within that marriage. And when you find yourself fighting alone, it could be a lonely battle. And it can leave you questioning yourself and if you worthy and questioning your value. I was speaking with somebody today earlier, and that's exactly what they're going through. It's almost like it's a tactic. And they falling off mentally, and it's affecting their work, it's affecting their mental capacity. It's just affecting every single thing because the person that they're with, they're not willing to do the work with them. You can do all the work and all the therapy. I'm doing this, I'm trying that. But if that person is not willing to participate, it's going to drain you. It's going to drain you for the rest of your life. So I just encourage folks to kind of sum it up to live in the reality of your situation. And don't be afraid to have tough conversations and to ask tough questions. Because again, you could waste the next 10 years of your life, or you can be with your person. And I yield.
Thank you. Very good final thought. Coach Berg, your final thoughts?
I mean, again, always a great show. You know, I want to give a shout out to the married people that understand the mission. We made a covenant to be together, sickness and health. What is it? Good and bad. I mean, the bad is, you know, us losing the job and our house burning down, something like that. Not you going out there on either side, going out there busting some cheeks down or getting your cheeks busted down. Because that's probably one of the hardest things a man could come back from. If he's truly in love with that woman, it's probably one of the hardest things he can come back from. In reference to the first video, you know, again, I give a shout out to the people that were in my life. They gave me, you know, information to help me understand who I was. So before I got into any relationship, I understood who I was and what to accept, what not to accept. I was always a person that asked a lot of questions. And to me, I live by this from the time I started dating. If I ask somebody a question and they don't answer that question, that's my answer right there. And I moved accordingly. I wasn't trying to pry it out and go through all that. That's too much. If we hear and we open and honest in this moment of getting to know each other, then tell me, then let me make that decision. So, you know, in reference to the second video, we all go through crisis shit at 35 and over. This is where a lot of single people are. When they're going through that crisis alone, it's a lot difficult. When you been doing something accustomed a certain way, you're comfortable and you step away from it, it gets a little uncomfortable. And I don't know, you know, I just hope that those who haven't had the experience of being married, I want to be married, you know, the game plan is already set out there. It's already there. You just have to be willing to read the pages, separate from people who don't think like you and believe in what you believe in for a little while. Don't mean you have to go completely different, but you have to separate to clear your mind. You know, and a lot of time it's going to be uncomfortable. I've been presenting you steak and you've been eating dog food every day. So you're not going to like steak immediately. Give yourself some time. You know, talk to yourself sometime. Talk to people who don't really know you, because they'll more than likely give you the best advice. You know, and as a man, you know, we understand that we have to save ourselves. And by default, we want a woman that looks like us and sometimes smell like us and all of these things. But you have to understand that you can't bring anybody the peace that they desire. They have to have that when they come to you. And some people, it just takes a little longer. But I don't know, my last thing, you know, for me, I have a 21-year-old son. And I'm seeing it from a 21-year-old perspective. And, you know, I'm just giving him the words of encouragement to say, you know, not every woman that comes in your life is not meant to be with you for the entire lifetime. So, you know, you just have to be really, the way the women are presenting it is that it's a good thing in a sense for the man, but I think women feeling the pressure, it's making a man really focus and try to understand the woman to the best of his ability. And if he's going to set any type of principles for himself, he has to be willing to stand on that and allow the woman to walk. Because to me, it's 10 of y'all to every one of us. We are the prize. We just have to believe it. And I'm telling all brothers, you got to walk in your righteous spirit so you can see exactly what you're looking for and what's meant for you. Other than that, protect yourself. No no baby mamas, no children out of wedlock. You know, work hard, get in shape, go to the damn doctor. And the Olympics will be here in 4 years. Prepare yourself. It's going to be women from all over the world coming to LA. So go out there with your muscle shirts on and learn how to surf and Learn some new shit, man. The world is going to be open in a few years, so take advantage of it, bros. Don't be so hard on yourself, man. Y'all got sisters that act just like the women y'all see. And I hear.
Thank you, Coach Ferg. Are paying your final thoughts?
Yeah, thanks for having me up. It's interesting to see you get so animated about the situation. Well, listen, I hope you kind of learn a little bit about that the difference between, because what you were saying was not necessarily wrong. It just doesn't apply to men.
Mhm.
Right. And even if it's a disconnect, we would like to know something beforehand as opposed to accepting why something happened afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Especially infidelity. You know, if I was making a mistake, and you didn't, I don't necessarily need to know unless I know. But the first guy, I don't see any way back in that situation. Whether it was 8 months or a day or whatever, you know, I think if I'm not mistaken, he asked her how long it was going on. He didn't know it was 8 months. She told him. And so whenever he got the inclination, he set this thing up. That could have been weeks or a month or two, but he needed confirmation. And just asking her, he didn't think he would get a true answer. So when she told him the true answer, I don't see how. I knew she wasn't leaving the house, but I don't see what kind of conversation they could have. That's why we went on this tiff we went on.
Mm.
Because what could she really tell him that would make a difference other than gaslighting him that he was the reason why she did it? There's nothing else she could say. Unless she just threw here's like I said before, unless she laid her body down on the mercy of the court. I'm sorry. I don't have no excuse for what happened, and I need you to take me back. That's pretty much all she could say to him. That would without blaming him for what she did.
Right.
Okay. So we didn't have that part. The second one, you know, when you have your marriage goes dysfunctional after you've been married for a while, she already cheated on him. So it's not over, right? If she already, I didn't see it, but if she already cheated on him and she's talking the way she's talking, then eh, it's not over. She's still in that, her headspace is still out there. You know, the girl's out to play. She ain't coming back. She just wants him to accept it. Now, even if she says, even if the dynamic is that she doesn't want him to do it, I think that's even worse,
Mm.
right? That's to me, that's even worse. You want me to sit home and you out there knocking boots, and then you come home, take your shower, and then jump in the bed with me. In what world does that work? You know, so I don't know. I don't know. So if these are real relationships, thank God I don't have to I don't have to deal with them. Like I told you guys before, I've been married a long time, and my solution to that whole thing with my wife is that if you ever step down on me, don't ever let me find out. That's the best mercy you could give me. Take that shit with you to the grave, you know. And then, you know, if you go before me, like I said, don't be getting this little heavenly spirit that you want to relieve your soul before the lights go out and tell me the truth. I'm not going to appreciate that. I'm not going to appreciate that. I want to love you all the way through the burial, you know, because you tell me even then, you're going to blow my departure thing, man. You know, so I'm saying just take it to the grave. If I never know, boom, you know. So that's it. But my wife is a beautiful lady, man. She can't serve two masters. I know it. You know. Anyway, so other than this is a good show because we had kind of Dahlia when what's her name, Paris came up.
Mm.
You know, she has her own way of thinking. Too bad we couldn't get some more out of her because it'd be nice to go back and forth for a little bit more of what she's saying. Because
Mm.
I think she's one of those who wants to try to somehow say a man should be responsible a little bit for a woman's infidelity. And I disagree with that. I don't care what he's missing.
Well, hopefully,
In a marriage, you need to tell me that I'm doing something wrong because everything after the fact, I can't get with.
well, you can't control anything after the fact. That's why you can't get with it because there's no controlling.
I can't fix anything after the fact either.
I think it's different, but that's different kind of words. I believe in. I'll say it all the time: being real with yourself so you can be real with others. Right. In that first video, the only thing that she could do was come clean because he already got you on Front Street. That's all you can do is come clean. But in the midst of coming clean, you know, realistically, human beings are going to have a conversation. They're going to see where or how they got to where they got to, whether it's a conversation that's an argument, whether it's a conversation where you don't see eye to eye, whether it's a conversation where you get nowhere. At the end of the day, they had another conversation after he told her not to be home. So my only thing with that is, you know, are those conversations really being had? Because I think a lot of people, while everybody doesn't need closure, I don't think it's for closure's sake. I think that sometimes, like Coach Ferg was saying, everybody is not meant to be your person. You know, you're a man who wants to be a husband is not everybody's husband. A woman who's a wife is not everybody's wife. Right. So, however, you do get the experience and the practice and things of that nature. And if you never have those conversations, how can you say you want to be in a relationship where you're wedded with someone and you're becoming one with someone, and you can't have those conversations and you're just saying, okay, well, I'm leaving. Again, if that's your deal breaker and things of that nature and those things are discussed, I can understand that. But not a lot of people have the conversation of, well, if this happens, what do we do? If this happens, what is our recourse? A lot of people don't have those conversations. It's just don't do. This is my deal breaker. This is my deal breaker. And y'all taking the for better or worse, and you're making what the worst is going to be, when that's not how it works in the real world. You don't get to decide what worse is.
Well, for myself, I would.
Right. But when you go to marry someone, you can't decide what their worst is that they're going to do. You don't know.
I agree with that.
When you marry someone, you literally are giving them the permission to hurt you. You don't know what hurt is going to hurt you more than another hurt. Like you just don't know. However, you are taking that risk with that person that you want to marry. You want to become one with.
You're peeling off the bad day. I'm serious. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I'm just saying, like, you know, and in real life, you don't get to choose your hurts. No one does. No one gets to choose their hurt. But the guarantee is we all will suffer. There will be a time where we all will suffer with something, with someone. And so in your suffering, how are you really getting through that? How are you talking those things through? If you're not talking it through with the person that you're with, are you going to a therapist or somebody where you can get your thoughts out, where you can put a sentence together so you don't sound crazy like that woman in the second video who couldn't even get a clear, conscious thought out to her husband and how she wanted the relationship to flow? She didn't know what she wanted. So everything that's what my caption was. What is she trying to say? Because I couldn't even figure out what she was trying to say. But after Viz broke it down on, you know, the episode and how it played out, it's obvious that she doesn't know what she wants. And so in that case, it's like, okay, how did y'all get here? Because at one point you knew you wanted each other. So how do we now get here? So my final thought is always going to be real with yourself so you can be real with others. And being real with yourself is being honest with yourself. That's it. And that's all. Because if you're not going to be honest with yourself, you can't be honest with somebody else. That woman in her first video was honest with herself, but couldn't be honest with her husband because he had to set her up in order to get the honesty. Like you said, Arpain, let me know beforehand. Let that be a conversation we have beforehand, before I have to feel the need to call a radio station to trick your ass and think that you went in a romantic getaway for two and you want Brian to go with you. You know, be real with yourself. Tell Brian, tell your husband, Jamie, that there are things in a relationship that you're not necessarily okay with. Tell him that there are things that you would do, whatever the case is. You're in a relationship. So if you can't communicate, you should get help with communicating in a relationship. So you got to be real with yourself so you can be real with others. Because if not, you're just going to hurt yourself and you're going to hurt others. And if that's the life you want to live, cool. But like I said, we all going to suffer. And when you don't even have an explanation for that suffering, then what are you suffering for? If you don't have an explanation for it. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Joe. I appreciate Rick, Paris, everyone that was on the panel who was able to make it. Join us again next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Maybe a little later, maybe 9:15. I think I set up for 9:15. 9:15 Eastern. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And we'll see you next week. Have a great evening and happy Thursday.
Take it easy.